Welcome everyone to the Dark Manhwa Recap channel. Today, I'll introduce the series Global Abilities, beginning the awakening of Xiao Shenlei. The story opens in a classroom at Jiangqing No. 2 Middle School, Class 12. The teacher's voice rings out reminding them about the upcoming university entrance exam. 20 years of hard study all for today. The literature exam is tonight. Check after you get home that your materials are all prepared. For the combat exam, prepare your battle outfit and weapons. The speaker is homeroom teacher Chen Fan. He emphasized once more that the university combat exam carries the risk of death. Those whose ability rank is below D are not encouraged to choose the combat track. A boy sitting below sighed upon hearing this. It was clearly directed at him. I am Su Jingming, someone who crossed over. This world is called Lamb Star. Its level of science and technology is similar to my previous life, but terrifying, bloodthirsty beasts also exist. Only those with awakened abilities can resist them. Everyone can awaken an ability at 16. There are hundreds, even thousands of different abilities, and their quality varies. According to Lamb Star's classification, abilities are divided into 9 ranks. The vast majority can only awaken between ranks F and D. My ability is only rank E, a weak electricity type. Its power barely different from ordinary electric shocks. At that moment someone came up and slammed the desk. Su Jingming, Teacher Chun already said, "Are you still planning to take the combat exam?" He stared with a contemptuous look. A useless E-rank like you taking the combat exam would only embarrass the school. Better obediently choose the literature track, work at my family's company later in a small office role, and you could barely get by. A female student suddenly stood up and shouted, "Huang Tian, mind your own business." Huang Tian turned to glare at her, snorting coldly. "Lin Qingyao, I'll show you who will be the top achiever in the entrance exam." He glanced at Su Jingming and sneered. "This pale face can only die on the battlefield." Having said that, he shoved his hands in his pockets and left leisurely. Lin Qingyao turned to comfort him. "Su Jingming, don't mind him. Everyone has their own worth. Switching your application to the literature faculty and living a normal city life isn't so bad." Su Jingming remained silent, only looking at the registration form in his hand. It clearly stated, Daiha University Entrance Registration. Name Su Jingming, male, 19 years old. Ability rank Elemental System. Registered subjects. Literature and combat. He thought to himself that in Daiha, the education system is split into literature and combat. Low ability makes fighting insecure. You can choose the literature exam to become ordinary. But if you choose combat, you must go to the designated exam site and fight the beasts, risking your life. Only by meeting the standards can you enter an ability university, undergo years of training and cultivation, then break through and become an intermediate ability user, gaining real power.
Su Jingming sai sốc ti.
The teacher and Lin Qingyao were worried he'd be in danger if he took the combat exam. But in a world full of risks, even avoiding a lethal combat exam can't prevent beasts from attacking at any time. My parents in this world died in a beast tide. I don't want to face that in the future with no means of resistance. After thinking it over, he confidently decided he would still choose the combat exam. Evening fell. Su Jingming was holding a spear, training with all his might. Lightning danced around his arm and flowed into the spear in his hand. His body was soaked in sweat, breathing heavily. Each thrust was powerful and decisive. After a while he finally stopped, saying he was truly tired, then collapsed onto the training floor, unable to continue. Glancing at the spear in his hand, Su Jingming rubbed his head and said that since awakening his ability he had chosen the long spear as his weapon. He'd trained for over 2 years, but his proficiency remained only at an upper beginner level. The combat technique Lightning Pierce Gale Break cost 300,000 taels to buy, merely compensating to make him slightly stronger than a rank E awakener. But the mortality rate for students below rank D in this year's combat exam was higher than last year's. His hand clenched, showing his determination. He wanted to get into an ability university and was determined to risk his life to fight for it. Suddenly, a holographic screen appeared before his eyes. The system was activating. Su Jingming looked up with a puzzled expression. Then the system announced successful activation and asked if he wanted to claim the newcomer gift pack. Su Jingming sat bolt upright, thinking could this be the golden hand system of crossovers. He excitedly asked what was in the gift pack. The system replied that it contained an S-rank ability and 200 ability points. Su Jingming thought to himself that an S-rank ability, even in a large nation like Ha Country, only appeared once every 3 to 4 years. Once discovered, such a person would certainly be fought over by top ability universities, receive countless resources, and might even be cultivated into a supreme powerhouse. Thinking that, he reached into the system screen, wondering whether a worthless E-rank like him still had a chance to defy fate, then decided to accept it. The system confirmed successful receipt of the newcomer gift pack. 200 ability points have been transferred into the account, and began to unlock the S-rank ability Tsu Xiao Divine Thunder. Immediately, countless arcs of lightning danced around Su Jingming's heart, crackling. The progress bar began to climb. His body was continuously invaded by lightning. He gritted his teeth and endured the pain. Bolts of lightning struck the floor, causing it to crack and shatter. The building where Su Jingming was staying was also blown apart. Windows smashed and shards of glass rained down. Passers-by looked up to see an explosion with flashing lightning. A little girl asked her mother what had happened to his house. A young man hurriedly grabbed his phone to call the fire department, anxiously saying that someone from the Su family was in trouble and they needed firefighters immediately. At that moment, Su Jingming was tensing his whole body, screaming inwardly, "It hurts." The system displayed 50%, 60%, 70%. Outside, dark clouds rolled in. People wondered why the sky had suddenly gone so dark. A thunder dragon emerged from the cloud layer, coiling around the neighborhood. A man seeing the sudden change in heaven and earth couldn't help but think the thunder was terrifying. He seemed to feel a heavy pressure, wondering whether a lightning-type beast was attempting to invade. Immediately after, he ordered Jiangxing's 3rd Legion to enter a state of alert. The soldier behind promptly acknowledged the command. At that moment, the thunder dragon plunged down from the black cloud layer at extreme speed, spitting a torrent of lightning from its mouth directed straight at Su Jingming. Inside the house, Su Jingming continued to endure the pain to receive the ability. The system displayed 80%. His whole body was wrapped in lightning as he screamed in pain. 90%, 99%, 100%. The ability derivation had completed. The final bolts of lightning fused into his body, and Su Jingming relaxed his hands, then slowly clenched his fists again, feeling power surge within him. He joyfully exclaimed that this was indeed an S-rank ability. Tsu Xiao Divine Thunder was completely different from his previous stun rod. One hit could crush an opponent. Seeing the damaged window, Su Jingming rubbed his head and said the commotion had been a bit loud. Luckily, he'd managed to restrain it somewhat, otherwise the damage wouldn't have been limited to the training room. He thought to himself that if he had known earlier, he would have trained outside. Suddenly remembering the newcomer gift also contained 200 ability points, he wondered what they were for and opened the system menu. The system displayed that ability points can be obtained by killing beasts, and spent ability points can be used to upgrade ranks and skills. When he opened the control panel to view the information, Su Jingming couldn't help but laugh out loud. He liked this simple but effective golden hand approach. The system panel showed Awakener rank not yet intermediate, S-rank ability Tsu Xiao Divine Thunder, Stamina 121, Health and Spirit 140, Basic Spear Technique, Basic Lightning Pierce Gale Break Technique, Ability Points 200. Su Jingming tapped the system screen, saying that the university exam was tomorrow and he had to use these 200 ability points wisely to boost his combat power. Essentially, abilities are the combination of a person's chi power and spirit. So he decided to prioritize strengthening these 2 basic attributes and directly allocated points into chi power and spirit. The 2 attributes points immediately rose, and Su Jingming's body underwent a clear transformation. Streams of chi poured out from within, wrapped in crackling lightning. He was astonished. Was this the feeling of health and spirit leveling up? His hand clenched as he took a fighting stance, then thrust a powerful punch forward. Bolts of lightning began to shoot from his body. Feeling it again, Su Jingming noted that after base attributes are upgraded, both combat techniques and ability manipulation are correspondingly enhanced. Each base attribute increased by 20 points, meaning each ability point converted to 0.2 health or 0.2 spirit. The system now showed Chi Power 141, increased health, Spirit 160 increased.
Su Jingming smiled.
With his current strength, getting into an ability university was within reach. He just wondered how he would rank among the 700,000 candidates in Jiangnan province, and how he'd compare to prodigies trained from childhood by famous teachers. Immediately, he kicked the spear up from the ground with force, caught it quickly with his hand, and said they would know the exact values as soon as they checked at the martial hall. At that moment, a powerful foot kicked open the door to Su Jingming's house. A fire rescue team burst in from outside, leaving him stunned. A firefighter announced they had received an emergency call, reporting a fire at this location. Hearing that, Su Jingming explained that the commotion was probably caused by his ability training and that there was no longer any problem. The firefighter breathed a sigh of relief and immediately informed his team that the emergency had been handled and they could stand down. Su Jingming stood behind smiling and waved goodbye to the rescue team. One firefighter couldn't help but praise that causing such a commotion yet only being a student training and ability was truly impressive. Soon after, the fire trucks left the neighborhood. When Su Jingming stepped outside, an old man anxiously asked Xiao Ming if he was all right. Su Jingming smiled and said he was fine and had it under control. The old man sighed in relief, saying it's good that he's okay. Seeing his demeanor, he asked if Su Jingming was headed to the martial hall. Su Jingming nodded that he was going to train there. The old man was pleased, praising his diligence for training even with the university exam tomorrow, unlike the old man's own child. Cut to the martial hall. For awakeners to advance into ability users, they must train chi power and spirit and increase the potency of their abilities. Therefore, martial halls providing training grounds and instruction emerged, since not every family can afford a private training room. The two most famous martial halls in Daihe were Lei Ting and Bao Heng. At this time, Su Jingming had also arrived at the martial hall. There were many people coming and going inside. Bao Heng Martial Hall charged an annual tuition of 100,000 taels, suitable for students from well-off families, while Lei Ting Martial Hall was free for high school students. Just then, a beautiful female student appeared in front of Su Jingming. He recognized her as Tang Qi, his cousin. She brushed her hair back with her hand, accentuating her beauty. Beside her, another female student was smiling and chatting. Su Jingming waved and greeted, asking if Sister Qi had also come to Lei Ting Martial Hall. Hearing someone call, Tang Qi turned around and, seeing him, replied that she had come with a friend. Su Jingming said that if so they should continue chatting and he would head to the training room first. Tang Qi crossed her arms, puzzled, feeling that he seemed different today. The girl beside her leaned in and asked Tang Qi who he was. He looked pretty handsome. Tang Qi answered that he was Su Jingming, her cousin, also a high school student like them, and he would be taking the university exam tomorrow. A young man nearby looked displeased and asked why she was probing so much. Did Xiao Na like him? Xiao Na blushed and admitted that with that appearance, as long as his ability wasn't too poor, he'd make a respectable boyfriend. Tang Qi stepped over and patted Xiao Na's shoulder, saying she was afraid she'd disappoint her, since Su Jingming had only awakened an E-rank ability. Xiao Na felt as if doused with cold water and was truly disappointed. The young man remarked that daring to enter the combat exam with an E-rank ability showed real courage. Tang Qi said courage meant nothing. The risk was too great. She hoped Su Jingming wouldn't take part in the combat exam. Xiao Na grabbed Tang Qi's hand and said to drop the subject. They'd come to Lei Ting Martial Hall to look around. Tang Qi nodded, saying that made sense. She trained at Bao Heng for 3 years and this was her first time at Lei Ting. Relaxing a bit before the university exam would be good for her health. With that, they all went inside. In the training room, Su Jingming stood holding his long spear. He held the spear and felt the change. He realized the spear seemed lighter, or perhaps his own health had grown stronger. But the university exam was tomorrow, and there was no time to find a more suitable weapon, so he decided first to test his peak strength without relying on ability support. Saying that, Su Jingming took a deep breath and exhaled sharply. His hand gripped the spear firmly, then thrust the spear straight forward. The spear tip pierced the target straight on, embedding deep inside. The display showed 321K. The training room was made of primary memory metal that automatically restored to its original state within its damage tolerance. His pure physical strength had doubled compared to before. Bear in mind that a normal awakener's maximum physical strength is only about 100. Next, he decided to test Su Xiao Divine Thunder. Lightning flickered in Su Jingming's eyes. He pointed at the target with confidence. Sparks began to form at his fingertips, then shot forward. The impact made the surrounding air tremble. The display showed 3021. Su Jingming couldn't help but be elated. No wonder it was an S-rank ability truly defying fate. A first-tier ability user's attack intensity is usually only about 1000K. Yet though he hadn't reached first tier, he could unleash power comparable to a mid-first tier ability user. But this still wasn't his limit. Su Jingming's whole body erupted with even stronger lightning. He tightened his grip on the spear, realizing both his physical strength and ability had been enhanced. But the true lethal move came from combining it with a combat technique. Then he began to fuse the combat technique with his ability. His body bent slightly into a stance, and without hesitation he drove the spear forward with full force. Purple lightning coiled around it, ravaging the target until the surface started to tear. Su Jingming shouted as he performed lightning-pierce gale break. A sphere of purple lightning gradually gathered at the spear tip. He shouted break, and the sphere of purple lightning exploded, spreading throughout the training ground. At that moment, a powerful tremor shook the entire building. People panicked, asking if it was an earthquake. On the same floor as Su Jingming's training room, Tang Chi's group was also thrown off their feet by the shock. A young man said the energy fluctuation was too strong. It must have reached the ability user level. Xiao Na wiped her sweat and said this floor was meant for high school students training, while ability users usually went to Bao Hung Martial Hall. Could someone really pervert enough to be here? The young man replied it might be a master training here, or perhaps a high school student had actually reached ability user rank. Tang Chi said in a low voice they'd know once they went to look. Then she pointed in a direction, judging the energy disturbance likely came from nearby. At that time, Su Jingming had also finished training and stepped outside. Seeing him, Tang Chi asked if he was preparing to go home. Su Jingming nodded, saying he wanted to return early to prepare for the exam. Tang Chi reminded him to do his best at tomorrow's combat exam but to stay safe. The young man with them grew impatient, saying not to worry about that. The energy fluctuation was definitely coming from this area. Tang Chi asked if it was here. The young man confirmed it emphatically. When they walked inside, a scene of destruction met them. Everything was ruined, and there was a large dent on the wall that left everyone horrified, not understanding what had happened. Xiao Na couldn't help exclaiming that even the memory metal had been destroyed. How powerful must the attack have been? Could there really be a high school student in Jiang City that strong? A young man inspected the wall and pointed, saying it probably wasn't a regular student. He sensed a wildly violent residual energy. The opponent was likely an accidental second-tier ability user who had wandered into this floor to test their strength. Others agreed, saying with an attack of that magnitude a high school student couldn't have managed it. Even a provincial genius would struggle, let alone someone from Jiang City. Xiao Na, a bit suspicious, said only Su Jingming had passed by earlier. Could he have caused the attack? Maybe he's a hidden super genius who'll reveal his strength at tomorrow's combat exam. Hearing that, the young men immediately objected, saying she read too many novels. That couldn't happen. Hiding true strength requires conditions, and Su Jingming was only an E-rank awakener. An attack intensity of 300 would already be high. Another person pointed out that both corridors had exits, so the powerhouse must have left by another route, which is why they didn't encounter him. Then he turned to ask Tang Chi for her opinion. After observing for a moment, Tang Chi said that was probably the case. But when she touched the dent in the wall, she realized the marks looked very much like spear technique traces. An image of Su Jingming flashed through her mind. She wondered whether his insistence on entering the university combat exam meant he truly wasn't unaware of his own strength. Cut to the day of the combat exam. Students began gathering at the test venue, their numbers steadily growing. Shuttle buses drove in one after another. Every student carried a handy weapon on their back. People looked at each other and started to chat. Su Jingming also brought his long spear, a rare confidence shining in his eyes. Some students asked if this was their exam site. One exclaimed he thought he saw a one-horned rhinoceros. Previously, the tests only featured common beasts like haunting cats or iron-bristle pigs. This year, the difficulty had increased significantly. A young man nearby said, "Who cares about a one-horned rhino? If you can't handle that beast, even if you miraculously get into an ability university, you'll be useless." Hearing this, the others turned pale and said nothing more. Su Jingming asked who was speaking so arrogantly. His friend Lu Qi responded, saying of course it was Chu Danyang, nicknamed the Light Wind Sword of number 1 high school. It said he possesses the B-rank ability Light Wind Gale. His power has broken through a boundary and he's advanced to a first-tier ability user. Su Jingming only smiled. So that was the genius considered this year's top combat exam candidate. He wondered privately which of them would be stronger. At that moment, a loud voice rang out asking the contestants to pay attention. After everyone fell silent and looked forward, the man said he was Commander Wang Hai for this Jiang City combat exam and would remind them of a few points before starting. The combat exam would start at 9 in the morning and end at 9 in the evening, lasting 12 hours total. The testing ground was the abandoned small town behind him. As in previous exams, the test area was divided into outer, middle, inner rings and a central zone. Killing beasts of different types and ranks earns different points. The stronger the beast, the higher the score. The central zone was equivalent to the super hard section of the test, reserved for top students to conquer. Contestants should assess their limits and not trade their lives for points. Hearing this, Su Jingming thought that if it had been yesterday he'd only dare operate in the outer area. But now he was determined to charge into the inner ring, even the central zone. Commander Wang Hai continued, announcing the start of supply distribution and asking contestants to line up by class teacher to receive them. The students stepped forward to collect their items. Su Jingming stepped up as well. The homeroom teacher said there were 3 items in total. A smartwatch to log the number and types of beasts defeated and record accumulated points. Next, a tactical backpack containing 3 energy sticks, 1 bottle of energy drink and a single-use med pack, enough to sustain a contestant for 12 continuous hours. Finally, a safety orb that, when activated, creates a high-voltage electric net around the user that ordinary beasts cannot break. The homeroom teacher warned Su Jingming that using the safety orb would end the exam early, but to remember life is more important than anything. Su Jingming smiled and thanked him, saying he understood. Just then, someone called to him. Lam Kondao approached, smiling and asking if he still didn't have a team and would like to join theirs. Lu Qiet stood behind, recently awakened to a C-rank ability, and said he'd protect him in the arena. Some other students objected, saying being kind is fine normally, but this was the university exam. Teams were limited to 5. Bringing along weak members would prevent high scores. Lu Qiet looked annoyed and reminded them he had already promised before and couldn't go back on it. Others retorted that who knew if Su Jingming truly dared to enter the exam. They didn't want to carry that burden. Su Jingming quickly said he appreciated their good intentions. At that moment, Lu Qiet was still upset with the others. Su Jingming said he planned to enter the test area alone and that they should form their team as planned. Lu Qiet looked at him and anxiously asked if he was sure. Lam Kondao also asked again, then warned him to be careful. The others came over and pulled Lam Kondao away, saying that made sense and they should find Hong Tian to form a team. Lam Kondao kept turning back to look at Su Jingming with worry. After everyone left, Su Jingming lightly curled his lips into a faint smile, saying that even without them he could still score high. At that moment, the loudspeakers on the flying devices announced the Jiang City combat exam had officially begun. The venue's cameras and drones started rolling, preparing to live stream the exam. The students began rapidly entering the test area, surging forward. My goal is Jiangnan Ability University. This time I will make everyone astonished. Tang Qi and her team were also quickly moving inward. Other students all rushed in to seize the initial advantage. Chu Danyang was among them as well. He carried his sword and charged forward swiftly. Behind them, Su Jingming also ran with the crowd into the area. His heart swelled with anticipation as he thought, the university combat exam. I'm here. At a certain point, Su Jingming tapped his watch. Beep, confirmation successful. Contestant, Su Jingming, grade 12, Jiangxing number 2 high school. Registration number 179. Current leaderboard. First Chu Denyang, second Li Yuan, third Zhao Hu. Reading the info, Su Jingming couldn't help but feel moved. No wonder the top scholar from Jiangqing number 1 high had already begun hunting beasts so quickly. I should act too. He calculated inwardly that from the outer area to the center there was still some distance, so he decided to head straight into the central zone. Thus, Su Jingming advanced deeper inside alone, step by step. Suddenly he froze. There was a corpse ahead, and beside it lay an amulet. Su Jingming broke out in a sweat. The wounds were too severe. The safety orb hadn't even been used in time. No wonder the homeroom teacher had advised him to give up the combat exam. If one didn't awaken to an S-rank ability, the outcome might well be the same. Gambling without regret. The combat exam was brutal, and opportunity always came with risk. Not everyone had the chance to defy fate. He then pressed the dead man's watch, which emitted a sound requesting logistics staff. At that moment, Su Jingming sensed danger from behind. His gaze turned alert as he immediately looked back. A beast's paw was approaching. Watching the creature close and step by step, Su Jingming thought to himself that leaving a living witness to lure others was deliberate. This was a trap. The beast's eyes flashed, its whole body radiating a powerful aura. It growled at Su Jingming, baring sharp teeth, its eyes gleaming with a killing intent. It lunged at him with extreme speed. Su Jingming immediately leapt back to evade the attack. The beast landed not far away. Su Jingming turned to face it. Its failed first strike made it snarl in fury, eyes fierce as it stared at its prey. Su Jingming assessed it. Agile body, sharp claws, a bite force reaching thousands of kilos. Truly deserving of the name assassin. The beast slowly turned, baring its sharp teeth as it prepared for a second attack. Su Jingming gripped the spear's shaft, thinking that the beast was called ferocious because of its special terrifying aura that could frighten prey. He'd heard most newly awakened contestants froze when first facing such beasts, their power barely reaching 30%, some even giving up and getting bound. Therefore, wealthy families often hired ability user bodyguards to take their children into the wild early, so they could get used to fighting ferocious beasts. He himself had no such conditions. This was his first direct encounter with a ferocious beast. The creature charged again, but Su Jingming remained calm and observed. When the beast was only an arm's length away, his hand tightened on the spear. A streak of purple lightning flashed. He then drove the spear through its body with pure force before it could pounce on him. Beast blood spattered as the purple lightning emitted sizzling crackles around them. Su Jingming's gaze grew cold. He thought inwardly that this aura seemed to have no effect on him. The system immediately displayed a notification. Defeated a non-tier haunting cat. Gained 3 ability points. Explanation. Beasts from 1st tier to 9th tier are divided into 9 grades. Beasts below 1st tier are called non-tier beasts, corresponding to the human awakener's levels. Su Jingming looked at the map on his watch, thinking that killing beasts grants ability points to strengthen oneself, but non-tier beasts give too few points. If he wasn't affected by a beast's aura, then staying in the peripheral area wouldn't mean much. He decided it was right to quickly push into the central zone. With that, he hurried deeper inside. Along the way, Su Jingming repeatedly cut down beasts. Notifications kept popping up. Defeated a non-tier haunting cat. Ability points +5. Defeated a non-tier iron-furred boar. Ability points +5. Defeated a non-tier beast. Ability points +3. Then +5, +5, +6. After a stretch of fighting, Su Jingming finally stopped. He told himself he'd gained a fair amount of ability points, but still lacked real combat experience. Using Tsu Xiao Divine Thunder could quickly kill non-tier beasts, but it wouldn't effectively raise his overall strength. Moreover, the higher the ability rank, the greater the consumption. If he unleashed Tsu Xiao Divine Thunder at full force, he couldn't even sustain it for an hour. Previously, his E-rank electric ability could last over 3 hours, but the combat exam lasted 12 hours. So before entering the central zone, he couldn't waste ability recklessly. Thus, on the next stretch he kept the strategy, relying on his spear techniques to kill beasts while accumulating combat experience. At that moment, a one-horned ferocious rhino appeared ahead of him. Seeing Su Jingming run by, it charged at once. A nearby car was hurled into the air by its impact, then it continued barreling straight toward him. Su Jingming remained calm in his movement. As the rhino closed in, he sprang upward and spun midair to dodge the ram. While still suspended, he immediately angled the spear tip downward, driving it straight through the rhino's head. Blood sprayed. A pained roar echoed. The beast's corpse collapsed with a thud, and Su Jingming gently landed. He exhaled, telling himself his hunting speed had improved greatly. Could his spear technique have unconsciously broken through? He then opened the system panel to check. Constitution 141. Vitality/Spirit 160. Spear technique. Intermediate, Electric Pierce Scale Strike. Primary, Ability points 256. Seeing the panel, Su Jingming was pleased. Indeed, his spear technique had advanced to intermediate. It seemed real combat alone could effectively raise his strength. The intermediate technique made him feel he could act at will. What if he took one more step and upgraded the technique? Thinking this, he immediately pressed the upgrade button. In an instant, countless images of spear techniques flooded his mind. Each move etched into his memory. He could comprehend them fully without practice. Su Jingming couldn't help but gasp in amazement. Numerous advanced spear maneuvers appeared in his head. He gripped the spear tightly, smiling as anticipation rose. He wanted to find a first-tier beast to test himself. At the same time, Class Monitor Lam Kondao's team was also hunting beasts. Suddenly Lam Kondao saw a figure flash by extremely fast. She startled and made a soft huh sound, then said doubtfully that she thought she had just seen Su Jingming. The team members scoffed, saying the monitor must be mistaken. It couldn't possibly be him. With Su Jingming's strength, coming here was tantamount to suicide. Lam Kondao began to doubt herself. She wondered if she'd misseen it, but the back she'd seen looked very much like Su Jingming. Lu Qiet beside her felt a bit worried, unsure of Su Jingming's current situation. Just then, someone in the team spotted the dead rhino and immediately called everyone over to look. This beast seemed to have died not long ago. Lam Kondao quickly approached to inspect and saw the blood at the wound was still wet, indicating death had occurred only minutes before. A brown-haired male student kicked the rhino corpse lightly and remarked it was quite large. Another person sat down to examine it and found the fatal wound was on the head. From the wound's condition, it could be identified as a penetrating stab from a long weapon, most likely a spear. Hearing that, Lam Kondao was terrified. Could the person she had just seen really be Su Jingming? The others also began to doubt, but still didn't believe it. They thought there was no way Su Jingming could have killed a one-horned rhino. That was a beast E-rank awakeners could handle. Someone then suggested that to know whether it was Su Jingming, they should just check the leaderboard scores. Lam Kondao immediately opened the rankings. It showed rank 45 Lu Shuang with 261 points, Jiangqing number 3 High School. Rank 46 Su Jingming with 256 points, Jiangqing number 2 High School. Rank 47 Wang Mingming with 248 points, Jiangqing number 2 High School. Lam Kondao couldn't help exclaiming, "It's him." The boys who had just looked down on Su Jingming were stunned. Impossible, Su Jingming had already made the top 50? Could it just be a namesake? Could E-rank awakeners be this strong this year? They couldn't believe it. Outside, the audience was also closely following events. Conversations buzzed everywhere. School number 1 remained dominant, most of its students in the top 10, especially Chu Mingyang with 472 points in first place. It seemed the city's top scholar spot was nearly decided. Jiangqing hadn't had anyone enter the provincial top 100 for years. It was unknown whether he could make it this time. Chu Mingyang was Jiangqing's ace. His ability, lightweight wind strike, was very strong, competitive even at the provincial combat exam. Evaluators believed he would likely enter Jiangnan province's top 100. The speaker was Zhang Wensong, director of Jiangqing's Education Bureau. Zhang Wensong turned to the principals and continued that he was always satisfied with school number 1's education quality, and school number 3 wasn't bad either for finally having someone break into the top 10. The principals of number 1 and number 3 stood up hastily. One said it was all thanks to the director's effective leadership and that they would rely on him more in the future. Then Zhang Wensong looked at school number 2's principal and said that this school needed to try harder, since its best student's current rank was only 18. Principal Zhao Yao of school number 2 nodded repeatedly. He silently cheered for his students. Currently only 8 students from school number 2 were in the top 50, including Lu Min, Duong Qian, Duong Siyu, Su Jingming. He vowed these kids must not underperform. Suddenly he wondered who the Su Jingming was. He'd never heard the name before. Was there such a student in the key class? At the back, Su Jingming's homeroom teacher was also startled when he saw the rankings. Su Jingming had actually made the top 50. He wiped sweat from his brow, full of doubts. Wasn't this student only an E-rank awakener? Could he be hiding his true strength? But no matter how concealed, an E-rank ability couldn't suddenly become S-rank. Right now, only the top 10 had dedicated camera coverage, so there was no video of Su Jingming. No one knew how he had achieved such a high score. Inside the central area, the danger level had clearly increased. A foot crushed the hard shell, shattering it completely. Su Jingming ate a supplement while thinking. Entering the central area, the number of beasts dropped noticeably, but those remaining were all tiered beasts. Tiered beasts had intelligence and territorial awareness, so they were much harder to deal with than non-tier beasts. At that moment, a sound suddenly came from ahead. Su Jingming murmured, "Here it comes." From ahead appeared a tiger. It swiped with its claws, sending several blocking cars flying, and stepped towards Su Jingming. The tiger looked extremely majestic, with blue eyes and long, sharp canines. It let out a powerful roar. This was the first-tier beast, the Serpent Blade Tiger. The cars were flung towards Su Jingming by the Serpent Blade Tiger, but he stood calmly, smiling slightly. "Seems my luck's not bad. Just entered the central area and already met a first-tier beast. Perfect chance to test my spear technique on you." Saying that, he charged forward with his spear. The Serpent Blade Tiger also leapt fiercely, its sharp claws and jaws able to tear any prey apart. Su Jingming calmly watched its movements. He then leaned to gain momentum and thrust the spear tip straight at his opponent. But unexpectedly, the Serpent Blade Tiger used a claw to block the spear tip. Its paw trembled slightly, and beneath it was a razor-sharp blade. Su Jingming curled his mouth in a smile. So that's all the strength a first-tier Serpent Blade Tiger has? Perhaps only the Tiger King would force me to use some effort. With that, he lunged again, determined to finish it. The Serpent Blade Tiger sprang up to counterattack. But at that moment, Su Jingming slid down beneath it and delivered a piercing strike into its body. The tiger howled in pain, blood spouting from the wound everywhere. Su Jingming withdrew his spear, his eyes coldly fixed on the opponent. The Serpent Blade Tiger looked back as well, seemingly enraged, eager to tear the one before it apart. Once more it roared and charged. The spear in Su Jingming's hand instantly assumed a defensive stance. He continuously dodged its attacks with astonishing speed. The tiger's claws slashed down, shattering part of a nearby building's wall, yet still failed to touch him. Su Jingming stepped back to evade. Okaying at his opponent, then said, true to its title as a first-tier beast, its vitality is indeed tenacious, still struggling like an animal driven to the brink. Man and beast continued to clash. Su Jingming retreated, gripping his spear tightly as he began to concentrate his strength. Streams of ability energy swirled around the spear. He said coldly that any struggle would be futile. Then Su Jingming shouted and thrust the spear directly at the Serpent Blade Tiger. The spear energy shot toward its head, but the tiger's gaze remained defiant, showing no fear of death. When the spear energy struck, part of its head was instantly smashed, and blood gushed out violently from its body. Shortly after, its massive body collapsed to the ground, becoming a huge corpse. Su Jingming held his combat stance. The system announced, killed a first-tier Serpent Blade Tiger, ability points plus 14. He spun the spear lightly in his hand and smiled. Ability points from killing first-tier beasts were almost double those from non-tier beasts. The stronger the beast, the higher the ability points gained. To others, the arena was full of danger and ambushes, but to him it was a rare leveling sanctuary. With that thought, he pressed deeper inside. Before long, Su Jingming encountered many more beasts in succession. Excited, he said such a rare opportunity must be seized. He had to collect as many ability points as possible. The sky remained clear, But inside the arena, the high-rise buildings lay in ruins, forming a desolate scene. Outside, everyone continued to closely follow the contest and the rankings. At this time, the leaderboard showed rank 32 Su Xian with 345 points, Jiangxing No. 1 High School. Rank 33 Su Jingming with 328 points, Jiangxing No. 2 High School. Rank 34 Sierra Leonean Leon Xiang with 328 points, Jiangxing No. 2 High School. Someone spoke up. Teacher Tran Pham, is Su Jingming a student in your class? People around began to chatter, saying that among parallel classes, only this teacher's students made the top 50. He must have excellent teaching methods. Some even suggested inviting him to give a teaching experience session. Teacher Tran Pham hurriedly waved his hand, saying it was all the student's own effort and had nothing to do with him. At that moment, someone noticed an anomaly on the leaderboard and shouted. Everyone quickly looked up and were astonished to see Su Jingming's rank surge. In one go, his score rose by 44 points, moving him to rank 25. Teacher Tran Pham also stared at the leaderboard in shock. Zhang Wensong stroked his chin and analyzed that, according to the combat exam scoring, killing a peak non-tier beast yields about 6 to 8 points, while killing a low first-tier beast grants about 14 to 16 points. Zhao Yao quickly did the math. The smartwatch had counted the kills within seconds, which meant Zhang Wensong continued. In 4 brief seconds, Su Jingming had killed 5 peak non-tier beasts, or 3 low first-tier beasts. He thought to himself he hadn't seen such a display in years. Then he looked at Zhao Yao and said, Principal Zhao, is your school student a hidden talent we never heard of before? Zhao Yao pointed at Teacher Tran Pham and replied, To be honest, I only just learned this myself. You should ask his homeroom teacher for details. At that moment, Teacher Tran Pham was sweating as he explained to the others. Zhao Yao went over and patted Teacher Tran Pham on the shoulder, saying, Teacher Tran, quickly come explain Su Jingming's situation to the leaders, what kind of talent he is. Teacher Tran Pham then stepped up to Zhang Wensong, bowed and said, Director, principals, this Su Jingming's awakening is only an E-rank electric type ability. Zhao Yao was astonished. Only an E-rank ability? Teacher Tran, are you sure? Teacher Tran Pham rubbed his head and answered, Yes. Before the university exam, I even specially told him he didn't need to take the combat test. I didn't expect. Zhang Wensong opened the teapot lid, his face showing some surprise. Only an E-rank ability, and yet he can reach this level. It seems Su Jingming may excel in other respects. This makes him even more intriguing. He took a sip, then added, Wait a moment. Given his current situation, he might very quickly break into the top 10. By then we'll know exactly how he did it. If it's by cheating. Zhao Yao and Teacher Tran Pham both went pale at that. Both understood what Zhang Wensong was implying. On the other side, the leaderboard refreshed. Rank 8 Li Zidi. Rank 9 Su Jingming. Rank 10 Ma Yuan. Rank 11 Yi Li. Rank 12 Duong Kentucky. At that moment Duong Kai was in a transformed state. Cute cat ears appeared on her head and her hands had become sharp claws. She looked at the rankings in surprise. Indeed, that hit yesterday created none other than her cousin Jingming. Meanwhile, top-ranked Chu Mingyang had just checked the leaderboard and curiously said, 6 hours left until the university exam ends. Before the top 10, there's still an unfamiliar face, Su Jingming. I've never heard of him. At that moment, the surveillance camera also turned to Su Jingming's location. It zoomed in on him as he used the spear in his hands to slay the beasts in the arena. Ping! Killed a most intrusive first-tier cat beast. Ability points plus 14. Su Jingming smiled. Indeed, in the central area the kill rate for beasts was higher. He also noticed the unattended camera. Apparently he'd already broken into the pre-top 10 coverage. The university combat exam is fundamentally a test of contestants' current power and potential. The better the results, the more favors one can receive. I never intended to hide my strength. Before the top 10 is only the beginning, he thought to himself. But before entering the central area, he still needed to upgrade his strength. He opened his info panel. Name: Su Jingming. Rank: Awakened ability: Su Xiao Divine Thunder Stamina, 141 Vitality, 160 Hz Spirit, 160 Hz skills. Advanced spear technique, lightning piercing strike. Basic, ability points, 312 note. A plus, after a stat means it can be upgraded. Su Jingming thought. Over 300 ability points already, yet no promotion prompt. It seems advancing from awakened to ability user can only be achieved through studying and cultivating abilities. So he must continue to level up his base attributes. With that, he pressed to increase his attributes. After the upgrades, Su Jingming felt the difference in his body and remarked that the sensation was quite good. It was time to head to the central area. His stamina increased by 40 and his spirit by 22. Scene shifts to the central area, where danger levels are highest. A pack of serpent blade tigers were tearing apart the carcass of a forest rhinoceros. Chunks of its flesh were ripped open by the serpent blade tigers. Their bodies seemed even more ferocious and they hunted in packs. Su Jingming had arrived. He hid to one side, smiling. 9 serpent blade tigers. One of them had outstanding bearing and physique, plus a terrifying blade under its arm. It must be the serpent blade tiger king. Looks like a big haul. He planned to rush out and take down those cute little tigers, but he noticed something, turned alertly, and his gaze grew icy. He called out, "Come out, I see you." From the other side Chu Mingyang appeared, stepping closer, then said, "Sharp eyes, so you spotted me. I didn't expect you to be Su Jingming who's broken into the pre-top 10. Su Jingming asked suspiciously, "Chu Mingyang, do you know me?" Chu Mingyang smiled and explained, "I know everyone strong enough to enter the central area, except you. So when I suddenly saw a new face, I guessed a stranger had shown up." Su Jingming found that reasonable and replied, "I see." Chu Mingyang then placed a hand on his sword hilt and said, "I've been watching this group of serpent blade tigers for a while." Su Jingming asked warily, "You want to steal the monsters?" Chu Mingyang hurriedly waved his hand. "Don't get me wrong. The Serpent Blade Tiger King is a mid-level first-tier beast, and with 9 Serpent Blade Tigers hunting in a pack, even a strong person can't handle them alone. We could cooperate." Su Jingming immediately refused. "No need." He smiled confidently. "I'm fine on my own." Saying that, he stepped forward. The Serpent Blade Tigers began to notice him. They stared as if he were new prey. The Serpent Blade Tiger King roared an order. The rest of the pack immediately growled. Su Jingming thought to himself that indeed this pack had a leader and even some simple tactical intelligence. The Tiger King roared again. The other Serpent Blade Tigers began to advance, their eyes murderous on Su Jingming. They accelerated and charged at him, while he stood there observing. Chu Mingyang hid to one side watching, unable to suppress a bit of anger. "Humph. Let's see if this guy is asking for death or truly exceptional." Over here, Su Jingming began to join the fight. He gripped the spear with both hands and spun it at extreme speed, and he didn't stop there, he kept increasing the rotation speed. The serpent blade tigers lunged, and their sharp claws were struck by the high-speed rotating spear, blood spilling out. None of the serpent blade tiger's claws could now touch Su Jingming. The spear's sharp tip and his extreme speed brought down the serpent blade tigers one by one. The system sounded, "Ding!" Killed a lower-tier first-grade serpent blade tiger, ability points plus 10. Killed a mid-tier first-grade serpent blade tiger, ability points plus 15. Killed a first-grade serpent blade tiger. At this moment, the corpses of the serpent blade tigers lay scattered across the ground. The serpent blade tiger king was furious. It stepped down from above, trampling its fallen kin, and strode towards Su Jingming with a ferocious face. Su Jingming felt his body and said with some regret, "It's a pity my physical power level is still a bit lacking. I can't finish them all off." The Serpent Blade Tiger King advanced step by step. Its tail, equipped with a blade, swept back and forth, leaving razor-like afterimages. Su Jingming calmly held his spear, adopting a stance ready for a decisive fight. Suddenly, the Serpent Blade Tiger King roared mightily. Its roar carried a shockwave that shattered the window panes of the surrounding high-rise buildings. Chu Mingyang couldn't stand it. He covered his ears and let out a groan. Su Jingming looked at the Serpent Blade Tiger King with sharp eyes. Roaring right after appearing scares others, but it won't scare me. Saying that, he lunged forward with his spear. The Serpent Blade Tiger King did not yield. it struck out with its paw. Su Jingming used his spear to block, then used the momentum to spring into the air. The serpent blade Tiger King quickly craned its head upward and snarled, its sharp teeth and murderous eyes on display. Su Jingming twisted his body, brought the spear back behind him, then drove it down with force onto the serpent blade Tiger King's head. Blood spurted from its mouth as the impact crushed its body to the ground. He didn't stop there. Su Jingming raised the spear and plunged it down directly. Ding! Killed a top-tier first-grade serpent blade tiger, ability points +20. Chu Mingyang froze, sweat pouring down his face, and exclaimed in terror, "No way! He cleared them all in one go? What kind of monster is he?" Su Jingming looked at the serpent blade tigers on the ground and sighed, "This round of ability points is quite a haul. At this rate, by the time the university exam ends, who knows how many ability points he'll accumulate. The more the better. He should quickly find the next group of mutant beasts." Seeing him leave, Chu Mingyang hurried after him and shouted, "Wait! How on earth did you use a spear to crush that pack of serpent blade tigers? Are you an enhancement-type ability user?" Su Jingming replied, "No, I'm lightning electricity type." Saying that, he leaped into the air, leaving Chu Mingyang standing there dumbfounded. Chu Mingyang clenched his fist in anger. "Lightning electricity type? Are you kidding me? If you don't want to explain, fine. But you don't need to be so flippant. What a nasty guy." Then he opened his watch to check the rankings. He killed so many beasts just now. Shouldn't his points be about to catch up with me? Looking at the leaderboard, he couldn't help but exclaim in shock, Number 1. Su Jingming, 1122 points. Jiangqing number 2 high school. Chu Mingyang stamped his foot in anger. It's completely reversed. Outside, Zhang Wensong kept applauding and praising. Advanced spear technique, true metal. Su Jingming isn't even 18 and his spear technique is already advanced. Now it's certain, he's a genuine prodigy. Then he turned to Zhao Yao, patted his shoulder and added, "With Su Jingming here, Jiangcheng will surely make the provincial top 100. After the university exam ends, I'll propose that the city commend your number 2 high school." Zhao Yao was delighted and said, "Thank you, Director Zhang." Emotion welled up in him. Su Jingming was truly a great unexpected joy. Jiangqing number 2 high school was finally turning things around. 3 hours later, scene shifts to the core area. Chu Mingyang looked around for beasts and asked curiously, "What's going on? Where did the beasts in the core area go?" At that moment some people approached and a voice called out, "You should ask that number 1 guy about this." Chu Mingyang turned and asked, "You guys? Why are you all moving together?" The shaved-head young man scratched his head awkwardly. He was Wu Hao, ranked 3rd. Beside him was Tang Qi, Su Jingming's cousin, ranked 9th. She said, "This is because of him." The petite girl next to her was Meng Zhe, ranked 4th, who complained, "Su Jingming cleared out all the beasts in the core area. We couldn't find any beasts, so we teamed up to keep warm." Chu Mingyang was stunned and couldn't believe it. That can't be true, can it? There are so many beasts in the core area. Tang Qi pointed at the watch displaying the leaderboard and said, "You can tell you haven't checked the rankings in a while. Here, look at Su Jingming's score and you'll see." She opened the leaderboard. Rank 1. Su Jingming 34-35 points, Jiangqing number 2 high school. Rank 2. Chu Mingyang 1103 points, Jiangqing number 1 high school. Rank 3. Wu Hao 945 points, Jiangqing number 1 high school. Chu Mingyang's eyes widened. Over 3,400 points? Tang Qi sighed. Now do you see? Subtract the over 700 points he got in the central area. There's still more than 2,500 points. In other words, he alone killed over 200 beasts in the core area. Chu Mingyang rubbed his forehead. No wonder he was worried about others stealing his monsters earlier. Turns out he had already planned ahead. Tang Qi folded her arms. Only a few hours left until the martial exam ends. We plan to form a team and go into the deepest core to try. Chu Mingyang panicked. What? The lowest beasts there are top-tier upper grade, and there are even second-tier beast kings. Going in alone is a death sentence. Meng Zhe smiled. That's why we need to band together. Are you coming? Chu Mingyang immediately replied. Count me in. Night was falling. Su Jingming sat atop a pile of beast corpses, his spear planted beside him, looking lonely and desolate. He bit into an energy bar and said, Supplies are used up. The martial exam is entering its final stage. He thought to himself that to get more ability points he must push further inside. But the deepest core had second-tier beasts, so he needed to strengthen his power. Ding. Rank. Awakened ability. Su Xiao Divine Thunder Stamina. 181 Vitality. 182 Hurt Spirit. 182 Hurt Skills. Advanced Spear Technique. Lightning Piercing Strike Ability Points. 2413. Su Jingming thought, 2,413 ability points. What should I add them to? Better put them into this. He quickly pressed the system screen. Then he took up his spear and slowly stood. Purple lightning coiled around the spear. He exhaled. Now I can definitely handle the final challenge of this martial exam. The final sprint began. Tang Chi's group also accelerated toward the central core area. At that moment, a giant beast appeared inside the central area. His body was enormous, with striking sharp horns protruding all around. Su Jingming curled a smile. I wonder what kind of second-tier beast the martial exam has arranged this time? Tang Chi's group stopped and everyone grew anxious. In front of them was a ferocious beast. Someone said, So it's the Blood Market Rampager. The Blood Market Rampager stood up on its hind legs. Its body was immense. Whatever was nearby was swept away by a single swat of its arm. Chu Mingyang rubbed his head. This is troublesome. Meng Zhe was sweating too. With an energy bar in her mouth, she said, This is a rare beast. Its skin and fur are as hard as grady alloy. Rockets can't even detonate it. One swing could crush us all. Tang Chi hesitated and said, I think we should abandon this attempt. Looking down at the many other beasts below, Meng Zhe added, Even before the Blood Market Rampager intervenes, those high-position first-grade beasts alone could wipe out our whole group. Tang Chi turned to leave. I'm withdrawing. Dying makes any points meaningless. Chu Mingyang clenched his fist in anger. Who the hell drafted such a perverted exam? Suddenly, Meng Zhe pointed down in surprise. Look quick! Someone's coming. It was Su Jingming. Tang Chi was startled and turned back anxiously. At that moment, Su Jingming's figure appeared. He vaulted over the walls and jumped down into the area below where the beasts were gathered. Meng Zhe couldn't contain her excitement. Is that Su Jingming? So handsome. Chu Mingyang retorted. What's the use of being handsome? Charging into a beast swarm like that is suicide. Tang Chi stood with her mouth agape, unbelieving. Suddenly Meng Zhe shouted, Not good. He stirred up the pack. Below, as Su Jingming touched down, the enraged beasts lunged to attack. But with just one man and a spear, he showed no fear and rushed into battle. The spear in his hand swung continuously. Beasts' blood sprayed everywhere. Behind him, the beasts seemed provoked. They howled and attacked more fiercely. Su Jingming was surrounded on all sides, yet he remained utterly calm. Sharp claws struck toward him in unison. Seeing this, Wu Hao couldn't help asking, Su Jingming isn't going to die like this, is he? Chu Mingyang said, He's too reckless. If he dies, it's his own fault. Tang Chi grew frantic and turned to jump down. No, I have to go help him. Wu Hao hurriedly stopped her. Are you crazy? Going down there is suicide. Meng Zhe quickly grabbed Tang Chi's hand. Exactly? Did you forget what you just said? Tang Chi remained resolute. You don't understand. Su Jingming is my cousin. I can't stand by and watch him die. Below, just as the beast's claws were about to strike, bolts of purple lightning suddenly appeared. They pierced gaps and crackled with a sizzle. Immediately after, countless purple lightning bolts shot up into the sky. To Tang Chi's group's astonishment, the night sky seemed torn open, lighting up brilliantly. Chu Mingyang shielded his eyes and exclaimed in horror, These lightning bolts. Could this be the lightning electricity ability Su Jingming mentioned? Below, the beasts that had been attacking him were nowhere to be seen. The ground was stained red with blood. Su Jingming stood there with both hands gripping his spear. Purple lightning danced blindingly around his body. He smiled. Relying only on physical strength to handle so many high-position first-grade beasts is a bit strained. I had to use my ability. Su Jingming toyed with the purple lightning with his finger, his eyes brightening. Hook! No wonder it's an S-rank ability. Truly overpowering and very strong. Around him lay heaps of beast corpses. Suddenly a sound rang out. Su Jingming looked up. The blood market rampager had appeared right behind him. It let out a powerful roar. Its huge body and thundering roar signaled more beasts converging behind it. Su Jingming thought to himself that the rampager's large body made it less agile. With Su Xiao Divine Thunder augmenting him, he might be able to handle it. Then he looked down. The smaller beasts were rushing in. He murmured, "But if we keep fighting, these minions will be a real nuisance. If that's the case." Saying that, Su Jingming closed his eyes, then suddenly opened them. Purple lightning appeared again, his gaze full of killing intent. "Then let's clean them up first." In the blink of an eye, he shot forward like a bolt. Man and spear were almost one, and the beasts he targeted could not escape their fate. The system announced, "Ding! Killed a shadow cat, high-position first-grade beast, ability points plus 13. Su Jingming grew more excited. So this is the power of an S-rank ability when you amplify your chi? Too bad the lightning storm coursing through my body is also dangerous. I can't maintain this state for long, but it's enough to deal with you." Finished speaking, he charged forward again. Ding! Killed a one-horned rhino, high-position first-grade beast, ability points plus 15. At that moment, the blood market rampager suddenly charged in anger. It swung its giant leg directly at Su Jingming.
Su Jingming what Jack Canly.
The giant foot slammed down, the ground there instantly deforming as earth and rock flew up, but it did not register that it had hit its target, because at extreme speed, Su Jingming had dodged to the side. The rampager immediately turned its head, then charged again. Its roars grew angrier. The massive body with sharp claws locked onto its target. As it lunged, Su Jingming leapt into the air to avoid the swipe. Using the momentum, he stepped back and thrust his spear. The unlucky beasts behind continued to fall. Ding! Killed a one-horned rhino, high-position first-grade beast, ability points plus 15. Killed a high-position first-grade beast. The rampager now realized Su Jingming's intent and roared even more furiously. Su Jingming smirked. "What's wrong?" "Angry because your little brothers were killed. Don't hurry. Once I'm done with these, I'll come for you." Saying that, he lunged at the first-grade beasts behind. The rampager's eyes flashed. It suddenly burst with speed, completely at odds with its massive frame, and charged straight at Su Jingming and the one-horned rhino. His giant hand came down. Su Jingming broke into a sweat. "All right, so you can predict my moves." The rampager's strike was extremely powerful. Light flashed from its palm, and a booming crash echoed. The impact's aftershock blew everything around away. Earth and rocks scattered in all directions. Its two hands slowly released, revealing a body flattened like paper, blood splattering everywhere. It wasn't Su Jingming's corpse. In that instant, he had leaped upward to evade the blow. The rampager quickly realized this and looked up. Su Jingming was excited. No longer harassed by trash fish, he could broaden his horizons. "Your armor like fur. Can it really stop my 10,000 army thunder?" With that, he drove his spear downward, purple lightning coiling around it, aiming straight for the rampager's head. The organizer's camera hovered above, recording the battle. Below, purple lightning swept through as man and beasts clashed fiercely. Shockwaves from the fight pushed the camera back, and Tang Chi's group had to struggle to keep their balance. Outside, everyone witnessing the fight stood frozen. Tran Van Sun exclaimed, "Principal Zhao, you call this an E-rank ability? You're not pulling my leg, are you?" Someone else from the back stepped forward and told Zhao Yao. To defeat a group of high-position first-grade beasts so quickly using a burst ability, even vaguely on par with a level 2 boss, an A-rank ability user would probably struggle to do that, right? Zhao Yao rubbed his head and replied, "Maybe it's an abnormal ability." Tran Van Sun gave a cold laugh. "But whatever the case, after today the whole city will likely be shaken because of Su Jingming." Inside, Where Su Jingming's spear struck the rampager's head, only a wisp of smoke rose. Purple lightning still danced around it. Suddenly the rampager roared, opened its mouth full of razor teeth, and lunged at Su Jingming. He instantly leapt backward, astonished that he'd only suffered superficial wounds. His body landed and he braced one hand on the ground to steady himself. He glanced at the rampager, calculating inwardly. Truly a rare level 2 beast. Fur as hard as steel, blades and spears barely penetrate, and crucially non-conductive. With his current strength, leaping 2 ranks to one shot, it would be somewhat forced. Suddenly the rampager's eyes turned blood red as streams of black chi rose from its body. The giant body rose upright, its huge hands spread and sharp claws bared. Su Jingming was startled and blurted, "What?" The rampager charged with ferocious momentum, its speed terrifying. Its powerful 4 feet swung up and stomped down, crushing everything in its path. Su Jingming used both hands and the spear to shield his body. He quickly realized the rampager had entered a berserk state. It clearly hated him intensely. At the spot it struck, a large pit formed, deep enough to swallow more than half its body. It howled again, eyes blazing red, and its agile body charged at Su Jingming. But he was extremely nimble, his body combined with the purple lightning to dodge all of the opponent's attacks. He smiled at it, indeed astonishing. When a beast enters berserk mode, its chi intensity increases greatly. While evading attacks he thought it through. Its limited intelligence was now further reduced, turning it into a killing machine acting on instinct. He quickly calculated, first avoid the horns, don't confront head-on. Best to use speed and agility to wear it down. Su Jingming's body swiftly retreated, his hand gripping the spear tightly, waiting for an opportunity to temporarily disable its mobility. In the blink of an eye, he appeared behind the rampager, purple lightning swirling around him and the spear, then quickly plunged forward. The spear tip was now empowered by the purple lightning. The rampager's massive body collapsed with a thunderous crash, letting out a pitiful scream. Su Jingming pointed 2 fingers at the sky. Use the skill. 9 Purge Divine Burn. Explode for me. Immediately, the purple lightning grew denser and descended. The rampager's prone body was relentlessly bombarded as it howled in pain. Thus the purple lightning, urged on by Su Jingming, kept striking down, becoming ever more concentrated. After who knows how long, he withdrew the skill. The rampager was motionless. The red hide on its body had been cracked and shattered. Su Jingming smiled. 9 Purge Divine Burn lasts over half a minute. No defense, no matter how strong, can hold out. Suddenly, the rampager's blood-red eyes widened. It sprang to its feet and roared to Su Jingming's astonishment. But as it prepared to strike, it could not move. His body was now completely paralyzed. Su Jingming smirked. It's time. He slowly gripped the spear with both hands, his eyes full of killing intent. The purple lightning was urged once more, blessing the spear, and he slowly intoned each word. Electro pierce, pest wind, break. At that moment the spear had gathered purple lightning, condensing into a ball of thunder at its tip, then drove straight toward the rampager. The technique struck the target quickly, forcefully pushing the massive body backward. Immediately a great explosion rang out, winds shrieking as the rampager screamed violently. When the dust cleared, the rampager lay there, showing no sign of life. The system displayed, killed a lower-tier level 2 blood market rampager. Ability points plus 24. Su Jingming crouched, panting. It's finally over. To deal with this one, he had specially upgraded Electro Pierce Pest Wind Break, from basic to advanced. Its power did not disappoint. Although it lasted only 2 brief minutes, this was the most intense battle he had ever experienced. Then he checked his watch, wondering how many points he'd earn if he cleared all the beasts in the central area. The night sky suddenly fell silent. Outside the trial area, the leaderboard on the screen showed, first place, Su Jingming 10,835 points, Jiangxing number 2 High School. Second, Chu Mingyang 1,103 points, Jiangxing number 1 High School. Third, Wu Hao 945 points, Jiangxing number 1 High School. Everyone was stunned. Over 10,000 points, truly unbelievable. Zhang Van's son laughed loudly. 10,000 points not only breaks Jiangxing's record but also Jiangnan's. A genius among geniuses. Zhao Yao and teacher Tran Pham also jumped up to celebrate. Zhang Van Sun looked at Su Jingming's smiling face on the screen and continued. Last year's provincial top scorer had just over 8,000 points. Su Jingming is essentially guaranteed top of this class. Inside, Su Jingming clenched his fist. Time's running out. The beasts in the inner ring and central area have been cleared. Next I'll return to the middle area. Kill as many as I can. Every little bit counts. Having said that, he moved outward again. At that moment, Tang Chi's group began descending. Tang Chi clenched her fists, face flushed with pride. Jingming actually killed a level 2 beast king. Truly astonishing. Chu Mingyang standing nearby looked puzzled. Why is he coming back? His score is already first. Doesn't he want to finish the exam? What else is he planning? Mangda watched Su Jingming's direction and guessed. Looks like he's heading back to the middle area. She realized a possibility and blurted. Wait, could he be bloodthirsty? Trying to wipe them all out? Everyone shuddered. The same thought of total annihilation forming in their minds. Chu Mingyang also decided to follow Su Jingming toward the middle and said, with Su Jingming's speed, he might actually pull it off. If we don't go now, in this last hour we might not get a single point. Our team would be finished here. I'll go ahead a step. With that, Chu Mingyang launched himself forward and left at once, followed closely by Wu Hao. Tang Chi didn't hesitate, sprinting off while calling, hurry up. Only Mangda is staying behind to guard the rear. Remember to leave some points for me. A moment later, the recorder's voice announced, the 2037 Jiangxing Martial Department Field Exam has ended. Beasts killed after this time will not count for points. All contestants, please return promptly. Contestants, please take note. The reminder played continuously. After a bout of slashing and killing, Tang Chi was sweating. She exhaled. It's over. Other contestants reacted variously. Some joyful, some regretful. Already over? I was only one beast away from qualifying. That was dangerous. I'm done. I'm done. At that moment, Su Jingming was carrying the corpse of a beast, glanced up and said, so it ends that quickly? What a pity. Still not enough. Afterwards, everyone filed out of the testing area one by one. After the long period of fighting, everyone's bodies were exhausted, nearly drained. Tang Chi's close friend grabbed her hand and asked, Chi, is Su Jingming really your cousin? Tang Chi helplessly rubbed her head. Goodness, you've asked 3 times already. Yes, he is. Xiaona blushed and continued. Then sister, could you give me your cousin's contact info? Please. Tang Chi puffed up her chest and teased. Weren't you interested before? Now I have to think twice. Xiaona was hit to the core and stammered. Today is different. Today he's first place in the martial exam. Please. At that moment someone spotted Su Jingming emerging and shouted, Look, Su Jingming is coming out of the exam area. Hearing that, everyone surged forward. Xiaona, standing nearby, was swept along and was accidentally bumped by the crowd. The crowd scrambled like treasure seekers. Where is he? Where is he? Don't push, brother. Let me see first. Ouch! By then, Su Jingming had stepped out. Confidence radiated from his face. His gaze focused, a faint smile at the corner of his mouth. Seeing him, people shouted, Su Jingming, congratulations? Look over here. Su Jingming, can you give me 100 points? Su Jingming cheerfully raised his hand to wave at everyone. Wu Hao, seeing Chu Mingyang staring blankly at Su Jingming, patted his shoulder consolingly. You should have been the one in that position, Chu Mingyang replied calmly. Who knew a nuisance would show up halfway through? Given my strength, I'm satisfied to have scored as much as I did. A little further on, Su Jingming met the principal and the bureau chief. Zhao Yao introduced, Classmate Su Jingming, congratulations. Let me introduce you. This is Director Zhang of the Education Bureau. Su Jingming bowed politely. Hello, Director. Zhao Yao continued. No need to take the bus back. The director wishes to see you off personally. Hearing that, Su Jingming glanced at the group of fans behind him and thought it made sense. If he took the bus, he'd be pestered the whole way. He then rode in Zhang Van Sun's car back home. The vehicle sped down the road. In the car, Zhang Ven's son asked, "Have you thought about which ability school you'll choose?" Su Jingming answered, "Right now my mind is only on improving my strength. I haven't really thought about choosing an ability university." Zhang Ven's son smiled confidently. "With your results, any university in the country would be fine. But among the hundreds of colleges, more than half of high-level ability users graduated from 3 major schools. I want to recommend these 3 to you." He began. Qingjing Ability University, located in the center of Daxia and government-run. Graduates can be directly employed. The current rank 9 national defender also came from here. Madu Ability University sits in the bustling port city, with extremely abundant resources and many elite guilds. Ideal for individuals pursuing the pinnacle. Tenching Ability University has a long history, over 200 years, and preserves many ancient lineages with a formidable faculty. Su Jingming asked with some curiosity, "I know awakened individuals need training methods to become ability users, but what exactly are these top-tier ability training methods?" Zhang Ven's son smiled and prepared to explain. "Let me put it this way. Training methods are graded. Using a basic ability training method, most awakened need 3 to 4 years to advance into an ability user. But with a top-tier training method, it can take only about half a year to complete the transformation." He patted Su Jingming on the shoulder reassuringly. "Don't worry. With your results, you'll certainly qualify for special selection. At that point, even the top 3 schools will offer you preferential terms. You just choose according to your wishes." Su Jingming replied, "I understand. Thank you, teacher." And so the two continued chatting as the car sped on. The next day at Su Jingming's home, he was taking a leisurely shower, his body firm and his six-pack clearly defined. Then he opened his status panel. Name, Su Jingming. Rank, Awakened. Ability, Su Xiao Divine Thunder. Vitality, 183. Training method, Advanced. Electro Pierce Pest Wind Break. Advanced. Ability points, 2534. Reading it, he calculated silently that 2,534 ability points would probably suffice until university. After showering, he wrapped a towel around himself and stepped out cheerfully. He wondered whether ability universities still had beast-hunting battles. If not, he'd likely have to go into the wilderness himself to continue training. Outside the house, Tang Chi and her mother had just arrived. Tang Chi pushed the door gently, found it unlocked and wondered, why is the door open? She immediately hatched a plan to sneak in and surprise Su Jingming. She and her mother entered loudly. "Song Ming, surprise!" Her mother waved too. "Xiao Ming, it's your cousin, Su Tanyuan." Su Jingming was startled. "Cousin? Older cousin? Why are you two here?" Seeing him wrapped only in a towel, Tang Chi blushed and looked away, calling out, "Su Jingming, what are you doing?" Su Tanyuan covered her mouth and giggled. Su Jingming hurried inside, saying as he went, "How can this be my fault?" Tang Chi remained red-faced and wouldn't look. Su Tanyuan glanced around at the messy house and the many cracks, thinking to herself that in a few days' absence the place had become such a state. After changing, Su Jingming sat opposite Su Tanyuan, deeply moved. Since their parents died, the younger cousin had always cared for him, brought warmth to the home, fulfilled her guardianship duties, and occasionally cooked him simple meals. Su Tanyuan looked at him and said softly, "Xiao Ming, I don't fully understand the martial exam. When I first heard you wanted to enroll, I was very worried. Now that you're safe, I'm relieved. The scores don't matter. Even if you hadn't passed, it would be okay." Su Jingming asked Tang Chi in puzzlement. You still haven't told her?" Tang Chi winked mischievously. "I thought it would be better if you told Mom yourself." Su Jingming felt a bit embarrassed. "Cousin, I did pretty well this time. Over 10,000 points." Su Tanyuan, having just taken a sip of water, spat it out. She wiped her mouth in astonishment and asked, "How many? You're not joking, are you?" Tang Chi hurriedly patted her back and answered for her, "Mom, it's true. Our cousin Su Jingming scored 11,124 points." Su Jingming quickly handed her a tissue, then began to explain in detail. Tears welled in Su Tan Yuan's eyes and her body trembled slightly. She then embraced Su Jingming, overwhelmed with emotion. Finally, someone in the Su family would carry on, and his parents in heaven would surely be proud. Scene cut. Somewhere a meeting is in progress. On the screen is footage of Su Jingming fighting. A woman above speaks. Su Jingming, 18 years old, awakened, level 2 electric type ability. Rank, awakened. Someone seated below says, if the results are genuine, we must recruit this student at all costs. A bald man holding documents doubts, but based solely on the talent and rank on paper, it's impossible to achieve such results. Another adds, judging by his combat performance, his ability absolutely can't be just E rank. That power is at least A rank, maybe even S rank. Someone else says, Jiangcheng is just a small place. How could a provincial champion emerge here? Maybe he cheated during the exam? Using tricks or doping isn't out of the question. The woman above, hearing the argument, interjects to stop them. Okay, enough arguing. She slams her hand on the table and decides, temporarily classify Su Jingming as an S-rank student for special recruitment. As for whether the results are genuine, I'll personally go to Jiangxing to investigate. At that moment, Su Jingming is looking at his phone. The screen shows a message from the Jiangnan Provincial Education Bureau. Su Jingming, Jiangcheng candidate. The Jiangnan Provincial Martial Exam results have been announced. Your ranking. First in the province. Total score 11,124 points. Announcement date, June 25th. Su Jingming had just finished training. Sweat was still streaming down his forehead. After reading it, Su Jingming couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. First place, provincial champion of Jiangnan. I really did it. Immediately after, numerous articles began covering his achievement. Headlines like, The Dark Horse from Jiangxing wins provincial championship. E-rank talent or sweat and effort? An unprecedented awakened in history. What on earth is Su Jingming? Below were countless comments. A provincial champion normally is a high-level ability user, rank 1 or rank 2, right? An awakened could win a provincial championship? An E-rank ability-winning provincial champion? If that's true, I'll eat my hat. Someone replied, just wait. I'm going to find his exam video right now. Reporters from across the province quickly descended on Jiangxing No. 2 High School, where Su Jingming was trained. On the podium were Zhao Yao and teacher Tran Pham, with a banner behind reading award ceremony for outstanding martial exam students. A reporter called out, Principal Zhao, in light of the online doubts about Su's results, do you have anything to say? Many suspect foul play and question the results' authenticity. Please give us an explanation. Zhao Yao adjusted the microphone and calmly replied, Our school's official website has published Su Jingming's exam video. Everyone can verify it themselves. The fairness of the Martial Department University exam is beyond doubt. Hearing that, reporters immediately took out their phones to watch. Within moments, everyone was shocked. Good heavens! A spear pierced straight through a level 1 one-horned rhinoceros heart. That power exceeds a rank 1 ability. Looks like augmentation type, but not. He's lightning electric type. Saying this is E-rank? And he's really only an awakened? Zhao Yao continued. Using the exam video as evidence, Su Jingming's results are completely genuine. He's the first student from Jiangxing to win provincial champion. This achievement deserves recognition. With that, he and teacher Tran Pham brought out an item placed on a tray covered with red cloth. When the cloth was pulled away, a plaque announcing the award was revealed. Congratulations to Su Jingming for winning provincial champion in the martial exam. Reward, 1 million yuan. Zhao Yao added, This is cash plus a major advanced ability training method awarded by the City Education Bureau to Su. The government would also grant a luxurious city villa in addition to the prize money. People immediately buzzed, shouting to take photos for front-page posts. At that moment, a woman appeared from the back. She looked forward and said, Although Jiangcheng has published Su Jingming's exam video, that doesn't mean he didn't use doping. The key is to determine his ability rank. On the stands, Zhao Yao turned to ask teacher Tran Pham, Where is the main person? Why hasn't he arrived? Tranfam replied, I just called. He said he's still training at the gym and will be here shortly. Zhao Yao couldn't help but be puzzled. The exam just ended and he's still training. This provincial champion is truly unusual. He laughed. At that moment, a group of high-ranking figures entered. Zhao Yao hurriedly, somewhat timidly, brought over tea, his hand trembling. Teachers, please have some tea. He set the tea tray down, his body still slightly shaking. He thought to himself that no wonder seasoned high-rank ability users who'd faced life and death emanate an aura that makes others wary. Before him, the aura of these people unconsciously spread out like powerful predators. Zhao Yao, still trembling, withdrew quietly, worried inwardly. Would these people start fighting? Just then, a woman among them spoke. It seems it's been a long time since we've sat together like this. This was Zhang Chaoyue, the admissions director of Motto Ability University. She continued, So which genius has caught your eye this time? Opposite her, a woman in a modern long dress with a seductive figure said, Ms. Zhang, no need to pretend. You know exactly who it is. This was Su Yun, admissions director of Qingjing Ability University. She added, As long as Su Jingming's results are genuine, Qingjing University will certainly admit him. The only man in the room laughed loudly. Ha ha! Su Yun, what are you basing that on? I say our Tenqing Ability University will get him. This was Wu Yuan, Tenqing's admissions minister. Zhang Chaoyue, sitting beside them, watched the two confront each other and thought that indeed, for a provincial champion special recruitment, even major academies couldn't avoid fierce competition. Just then the door was pushed open. Su Jingming, his spear slung over his shoulder, entered with a smile. He looked at the teachers and said, Hello, teachers. All three of them stopped and observed him as he entered. Zhang Chaoyue assessed silently. Not bad, energetic, spear and man in harmony. It seemed he hadn't slacked off after the exam. Moreover, he remained undisturbed in the presence of a high-rank ability user's aura. At this point, Zhao Yao spoke to introduce them. Let me introduce. This is Director Zhang, admissions head of Motto Ability University. This is Ms. Su, admissions head of Qingjing Ability University. And this is Mr. Wu, admissions minister of Tenqing Ability University. Zhang Chaoyue stepped forward and said, Student Su, we've all watched your exam video. Your combat capability is very strong, and your fighting techniques are outstanding. But I have one question. Your ability doesn't seem to be the weak E-rank electric type you registered as. Could you explain the specifics? Su Jingming thought, of course they'd ask that. He replied, Before the exam, while training at home, I was struck by a natural lightning bolt. After that, I discovered my ability had become stronger. Su Yun and Wu Yuan both said, Sounds like an ability mutation. Zhang Chaoyue then took out a device and said, Student Su, you may not yet know what your mutated ability is. I brought an ability scanner you can try. She brought the device before him. Just manifest your ability. Su Jingming placed his hand in the scanning ring. Everyone gathered to watch. Zhao Yao stood nearby to help him put away the spear but struggled because it was so heavy. On the other side, Su Jingming began to unleash Su Shao Divine Thunder. Seeing this, Zhang Chaoyue's eyes widened in astonishment. Su Yun couldn't help exclaiming, Such a raging aura. Even I feel some pressure. The scanner emitted a sound. Ability scan complete. Ability name. Su Shao Divine Thunder. Evaluation. Before it could finish speaking, the device began to crack, then shattered into pieces. A loud explosion rang out, and everyone immediately stepped back to avoid the impact. Zhao Yao asked in astonishment, What is happening here? Wu Yuan clenched his fist. This confirms it. Su Yun beside him also looked pleased. Even a small scanner was overloaded. The rank of this ability has certainly reached S rank. Zhang Chaoyue looked at Su Jingming and smiled inwardly, thinking he was indeed not bad. This time her bet had paid off. Wu Yuan excitedly announced, Student Su, Tenqing Ability University's enrollment package is 4 million yuan and a set of C-rank equipment. During the 4 years of university, all ability cultivation methods and combat techniques are free. Su Yun behind him sneered, Is that all, and you still want to compete for him? Then she stepped forward, Student Su, if you come to Qingjing, The enrollment reward is 6 million yuan. All equipment, cultivation methods, and combat techniques for 4 years are yours to choose, completely free. Hearing this, Wu Yuan's face went dark and he was speechless. Su Jingming thought to himself that it was indeed very generous. At that moment, Zhang Chaoyue spoke. Motto Ability University doesn't offer cash rewards or equipment, but we aren't lacking if the other two have those things. Additionally, each year we will provide you with one portion of S-grade cultivation resources. Wu Yuan and Su Yun were stunned at once. S-grade cultivation resources? Su Jingming asked somewhat blankly. What is that? Zhang Chaoyue stepped forward to explain. Do you know about the Long Clan beasts? They are beast species with dragon-like forms, born exceptionally powerful. These creatures are born already at rank 4 or rank 5, far surpassing ordinary beasts. Within the S-grade resources is the essence blood of rank 8 Long Clan beasts. After absorbing the dragon blood, one's chi force is greatly enhanced and the body can reach an intensity comparable to a Long Clan beast. Every portion of S-grade resources contains this dragon blood. Su Yun slapped her forehead and sighed. Hearing that stirs even me. Motto, you really are wealthy. Wu Yuan also sighed. S-grade resources are normally reserved for outstanding final-year students, yet you offer them to a freshman. We can't compete with that. The three looked at Su Jingming and smiled. All right, it's time for your decision. Among the 3 top universities, which will you choose? Su Jingming did not hesitate. I choose Motto Ability University. He smiled inwardly, not only for the best conditions, but because, to his knowledge, Motto's practical combat training level was the highest. In University Alliance seasons, more than half the champions came from there. Wu Yuan could only sigh, while Su Jingming showed no arrogance. He bowed to Su Yun and Wu Yuan and politely said, Thank you for your favor, teachers. Zhang Chaoyue took a card for Motto Ability University from her ring, then handed the card to Su Jingming and said, Student Su Jingming, we look forward to your enrollment. Freshman registration is on the 1st of, but as a specially recruited student you may arrive earlier. The school will provide dormitory accommodation for you. Hearing this, Su Jingming asked, May I preview the ability cultivation methods and combat techniques in the library beforehand? Zhang Chaoyue replied, No problem. For the library, I can arrange a private study room for you to avoid disturbances. Here's my contact. Just get in touch when you arrive at Motto. Su Jingming looked at the card in his hand and happily said, Motto Ability University, I've been looking forward to enrolling. Zhang Chaoyue stood aside, smiling at him. At Jiangqing Station, an announcement sounded, Train G91 to Motto is now checking tickets. Su Jingming waved goodbye to everyone and boarded the train. Hua Tan Yuan's eyes brimmed with tears. Sniff! The child has finally grown up. Beside her, Su's uncle, Duong Dao Lam, comforted her. Xiaoming, this trip might be his big break. He turned to Duong Qi. Qi, it's almost time to fill out your preferences. If cousin Jingming goes to Motto, try to aim for it too. Hua Tan Yuan smiled and said, Your father is right. Then you two can look after each other. Duong Qi shyly scratched her head. Mom, Dad, I know. On the train to Motto, Su Jingming was flipping through a book on ability cultivation methods. He thought to himself that there were 6 hours until they arrived, so he might as well review a bit. The most important prize from the university exam was the cultivation method called Deep Sea Body Insight. Like abilities, cultivation methods are also divided into ranks: basic, intermediate, advanced, and pinnacle. The higher the rank, the faster the cultivation progress. Currently, he held an intermediate-level ability cultivation method. With a spirit force of 180, he only needed half a day to memorize the entire content. According to the book's notes, there exists a special type of energy in the world. If you cultivate by this method, you can sense that energy on the very first day. At the same time, a reminder to add upgrade points appeared on the system control panel, but he had no intention of upgrading right now, because, as recorded in the book, when an awakened awakener becomes an ability user, the higher the cultivation method used, the greater the benefits after a breakthrough. He could wait until university to access top-tier methods, so he wouldn't waste the opportunity on this intermediate one. After the train stopped, Su Jingming took a cab to Mado University. Seeing the campus before him, Su Jingming couldn't help but exclaim. One gate alone was over 100 meters wide. The campus inside must be even more imposing. Just then, a red car sped up to him. It was none other than Zhang Chaoyue. Seeing him, she said, "Student Su Jingming, welcome to register. Get in the car. I'll take you to complete your enrollment procedures." They then moved off. In the car, Zhang Chaoyue asked, "Well, is Mado Ability University impressive? It covers 40,000 mu, about 26 square kilometers, with an average area per student of 2,600 square meters. Students could spend a whole day touring and still not see everything." Su Jingming replied in surprise. "Seeing it once is worth 100 hearsays." Zhang Chaoyue then took out a card with Su Jingming's information and said, "Here, this is your student card. Just swipe it to enter the dormitory." Su Jingming looked up, thinking that even at the university where he'd studied to a PhD, he had never seen dorms like this. There were 4-person rooms, singles, even 3-bedroom units for graduate students and PhDs, but he'd never seen luxurious villas used as dormitories. In front of him now was a flashy villa. Zhang Chaoyue explained, "At our school, every student lives in a villa. Different scores correspond to different villa levels of luxury. Provincial champions like you get the most luxurious type, with a total area over 800 square meters. But you needn't worry about being lonely. The villa is shared by 2 people. You and your roommate, 1 floor each." Su Jingming thought to himself that a 2-person dorm wasn't bad. It was better than being alone. Before transmigrating, he was an orphan who preferred the feel of a 4-person dorm. After they went inside, Zhang Chaoyue sat across from him and said, "All enrollment procedures are complete. Next I'll tell you about the places in our school you should pay special attention to." Su Jingming replied seriously, "Please go ahead." Zhang Chaoyue began, "Mainly 2 points. The credit system and the private mentor system. First is the credit system. At Mado Ability University, credits are everything. Whether it's meals, shopping, equipment, or certain rare treasures, credits are required. 1 credit can be equivalent to 10,000 Dia Yuan. There are many ways to obtain credits. One method is a fixed allocation based on yearly evaluations. For example, you, evaluated at S rank upon enrollment, you can receive 100 credit points this year." She clapped and called, "Eva, come out." A spherical robot appeared and said, "Student Su Jingming, current credits, 100. Zhang Chaoyue smiled and continued, "This is the AI each dorm is equipped with. The original Eva is the school's advanced AI. The dorm units house its avatars. Although avatars, they reach AI level 4, fully capable of supporting daily life." Su Jingming was astonished. An avatar already at AI level 4, Lam Tin's AI technology development far surpassed that of his previous life. Zhang Chaoyue continued, "The second point to note is our school's private mentor system. Every student can choose a mentor they like to formally apprentice under, making that person their personal instructor. Of course, the mentor must agree first." Su Jingming asked doubtfully, "A personal mentor? Can a freshman like me receive guidance from them?" Zhang Chaoyue replied, "That's right. Our mentors are all high-level ability users. Almost every one of them has their own combat techniques, along with secret ability cultivation methods that aren't taught publicly. You can only learn them after apprenticing." Mado Ability University has 4 mentors specializing in the lightning electric system. Among them, Director Jung Tranthien of the Armaments Institute is the mentor I recommend to you first. At that moment, Eva displayed his information. Jung Tranthien, 52 years old, Director of the Armaments Institute at Mado Ability University, a high-tier rank 7 ability user, possessing the A-rank lightning electric ability Windfire True Thunder. He specializes in unarmed techniques, great swords, long spears, long swords, and many other weapons, with the long spear being his greatest mastery. Nicknamed Thunder Court Spear, he once fought for 3 days and nights in the wild against an rank 8 beast, the earth-sealing demon boar, and ultimately killed it single-handedly. Then Eva continued to display the other 3 profiles. Zhang Chaoyue said, "The information on the other 3 has been listed as well. 2 are from the Elements Institute, and the remaining one is also from the Armaments Institute but mainly uses the long sword. The final choice is up to you. Su Jingming smiled and replied, a lightning electric specialist whose best weapon is the long spear. Director Jung really is my best choice. At a luxurious villa within Motto Ability University, Su Jingming arrived at the gate. He looked around in awe. As expected of a mentor's residence, it was far more upscale than the student district. Suddenly a student stepped up behind him and said, are you here to apprentice? The student then asked in surprise, wait, you're still just an awakener, but a special recruit? Su Jingming answered, MM. The young man said, in past years, special recruits were either top-tier rank 1 or mid-tier. I didn't expect this year there'd be a special recruit who's still an awakener. He then introduced himself. I'm a second-year student in the Armaments Institute. Well, maybe third year now. My name is Dam Min Duong. Su Jingming introduced himself in turn. Su Jingming, a freshman. I've just arrived to register today. Dam Min Duong was a bit surprised. You already know about apprenticing right after registering? Student Su, you're quick. Normally freshmen have to wait until after the freshman matches to apprentice. Su Jingming asked curiously, freshman matches? Dam Min Duong explained. The freshman matches are a tradition at Motto Ability University. They're usually held 3 or 4 days after official enrollment. Then students and teachers from the whole school come to watch. Freshmen who perform well will be fought over by the institutes, and may even be directly accepted as disciples by mentors. Of course, special recruits like you can apprentice early too. He thought to himself that even as a special recruit, trying to apprentice directly under the director right after enrollment would be as hard as winning the jackpot. Probably a wasted trip. Hearing that, Su Jingming smiled. Thanks for the explanation, Senior. Senior Dam, are you here to seek Mentor Jung as well?
Dạ mình dùng nốt đét. Yes.
I've come several times over the past 6 months, but I've always been turned away at the door. I was about to give up, but I couldn't accept it. Just then someone came out to open the door, surprising Dam Min Duong. The butler smiled and said, welcome. Mentor Jung has been waiting inside. Please follow me in. Dam Min Duong felt very strange. The other times he came the butler had never been this welcoming, and Mentor Jung sitting inside was unexpected. Could he actually have a chance to be chosen today? Then the two followed the butler inside. Before them sat a middle-aged man alongside a handsome young man with his hair tied neatly at the back. Su Jingming thought to himself that the aura was formidable. This must be Jung Tranthien, a high-tier rank 7 ability user who wields the Thunder Court Spear and serves as director of the Armaments Institute. Jung Tranthien looked at Su Jingming and said, you must be Su Jingming, right? Head teacher Zhang Chaoyue told me about you. Come with me. I'll take you to the training room.
In Dương Trấn Thiên Training Chamber.
He said, I've watched your martial college exam. Your combat capability is indeed strong, and your spear techniques have reached an advanced level. But before anything else, I want to see your S-rank ability. Su Shao Divine Thunder, with my own eyes. Su Jingming replied, yes. He then closed his eyes, and violet thunder began to dance around his hands. He shouted loudly, then raised his hand. The violet thunder seemed unleashed, spreading outward and growing ever more intense.
Sang this, Dương Trấn Thiên Setterly Smile.
Is this really the S-rank Su Shao Divine Thunder? He reached out to touch the violet thunder and observed. Although I also possess the lightning electric ability Windfire True Thunder at a rank, the ontological gap between A and S is irreconcilable. If this kid trains hard, his future achievements may well surpass mine. With that thought, he said, Su Jingming, with your ability potential, becoming my disciple is certainly no issue. But I've lived half a life. I have many friends and many enemies. If you become my disciple, I can't guarantee you won't be implicated. Some enemies might even target you. Are you willing to accept that? Su Jingming did not hesitate. He immediately knelt before Jung Tranthien, pressed his hands together respectfully and said, I accept. He thought inwardly that he most admired high-tier ability users forged in blood and hardship. More enemies only proved a master's strength.
Dương Trấn Thiên Lauget Hertitili. Good, good.
From today on, you are my 32nd disciple, and my first S-rank disciple. He helped Su Jingming to his feet. Stand up. Then from within his ring he produced 2 books and continued. These are top-tier limited ability cultivation methods, and the combat skill created by my master, Thunder Court Immortal Body. Holding the 2 books, Su Jingming was filled with joy. This was a body enhancement combat skill that increased stamina, far more precious than the ordinary combat skill Electrified Tidal Strike. Jung Tranthien looked at him and continued. No need to elaborate on the cultivation method. It's one of the school's 3 top techniques. Its focus is a body enhancement combat skill. The Thunder Court Immortal Body is the lifetime culmination of my master's work, recognized by the Thunder Court and Savage Might Halls, and can be classified as S-rank. Su Jingming was inwardly shocked. An S-rank combat skill? He thought that, like abilities, combat skills are also graded. The higher the grade, the harder to cultivate, but the greater the final power. Most 7th rank masters who can create an A-rank combat skill are already exceptional. Yet Master Jung not only created an S-rank skill but one tied to the mysteries of the human body, the most complex type of body enhancement combat skill. His martial talent was terrifyingly high. Jung Tranthien added, the Thunder Court Immortal Body is only suitable for lightning electric ability users and has 13 tiers. Each breakthrough will trigger corresponding changes in Qi. But to cultivate it, you must first become an ability user. Go after you use this limited cultivation method to advance in rank. Come find me. Then my master will personally help you reconstruct the foundations of the Thunder Court Immortal Body. Su Jingming bowed 90 degrees. Thank you, master. He thought that indeed having a mentor's guidance was far better. Relying only on oneself would take many detours. Jung Tranthien watched Su Jingming depart with eyes full of expectation. He himself had only trained the Thunder Court Immortal Body to the 10th tier, 3 tiers remained blocked. If he could not reach the pinnacle 9th rank saint in this life, Su Jingming was the greatest hope to validate this cultivation method, because he speculated that when cultivated to the final tier, the Qi could reach an almost eternally undying state. Su Jingming stepped outside. The butler waved goodbye warmly, while Dam Min Duong sat outside clutching his head in despair. Seeing that, Su Jingming asked, Senior Dam, what's wrong with you? Dam Min Duong looked up, revealing his swollen face. He recalled the handsome youth standing behind Jung Tranthien and sighed. Sigh. Don't remind me. Did you see the male student in the hall earlier? He's Director Jung's disciple, Senior Lu. To defeat Lu Ming, I would have to use my full strength for it to count as qualifying to apprentice. I probably have no chance in my lifetime. Then Dam Min Duong turned to Su Jingming and asked, So you failed too, right? Getting into Director Jung's sect isn't easy. Want me to teach you some tips? Seeing Dam Min Duong's bruised face, Su Jingming hurriedly replied, No need, Senior. I made it. Dam Min Duong gritted his teeth and thought to himself. Really succeeded? He had never heard of a director-level mentor accepting disciples before the freshman matches. Then he began to speculate. Could the guy be the principal's son? But he didn't quite look the part. What kind of divine character was he? At that, Su Jingming left, not forgetting to wave goodbye to Dam Min Duong. Scene shifts to the 2nd floor training room in Su Jingming's dormitory. He sat cross-legged, cultivating. He thought inwardly that, as expected of a top-tier ability cultivation method, it sensed primal energy far more than the intermediate method. With this cultivation method in hand, there was no need to train step by step. He could directly spend points to advance in rank. Thinking so, he tapped the system screen and selected the rank up option. Primal energy around him began to convulse, currents swirling around his body and continuously pouring inward. Su Jingming clenched his teeth in pain and groaned. Veins bulged on his hands as he gripped his pant leg tightly. Then he shouted, and the primal energy in his body erupted outward with great force. He panted, Hook! Breakthrough! At that moment, Su Jingming had advanced from awakener to lower-rank ability user, grade 1. He raised his hand. Violet thunder danced around his arm, then coalesced into a powerful strike that slammed into the floor. The force was clearly much greater than before. Su Jingming clenched his fist, thinking that the top-tier cultivation method was well-deserved. He could feel the power and ability in his body had increased at least 4 to 5 times. If he met that rank 2 blood market rampager again, he wouldn't need his spear. The thunder alone could kill it. It's no wonder ability users crave higher-level cultivation methods. Using the deep sea method for a breakthrough would at most raise his chi and spirit by about 30 to 40 points. But now it rose nearly in one go to about 100 points. The gap was truly huge. At that moment, the system panel also displayed Su Jingming's info. Name: Su Jingming. Rank: lower rank grade 1 ability. Su Xiao Divine Thunder. S rank: Qi. 283 Vitality plus Spirit. 289 Hurt skills. Advanced Spear Techniques. Electrified Tidal Strike. Advanced Ability Points. 2,234 points. Su Jingming walked to the table, looked at the book and said, "It only costs 300 ability points to advance, leaving so many left. I'll keep them for now to learn combat skills later, to avoid running out of ability points. For example, the Thunderstorm Immortal Body Manual is even more important than the training method. This is an S-rank combat technique with tremendous power, and when you advance it consumes a huge amount of psionic points. It's unclear how long it will take to fully comprehend." Scene cuts to the next day. Yang Jintian exclaimed in surprise, "That fast?" He stroked his beard and said, "In 20 years at Madu University, I've encountered countless geniuses. Even the best among them took a long time to break through into psionic realms for the first time. But it's been less than 24 hours since you received the secret text." Su Jingming scratched his head and replied, "Maybe my advancement speed is a bit fast. When Master practiced the Thunderstorm Immortal Body, the foundational forging must have been extremely difficult to enter, right?" Yang Zhentian hummed, then said, "What they call forging the foundation is using the blood of a thunder-rank beast as a conduit, combined with one's own lightning psionics to temper the sinews and bones. The final attainment of the Thunderstorm Immortal Body is directly related to the type of vital blood used at the start. If you've successfully advanced, then today I will help you forge the foundation of the Thunderstorm Immortal Body. High-grade thunder beasts are extremely rare. I originally prepared for you the Grade 7 Windstorm Colossus blood, which I personally killed years ago. But I heard from Zhang Chaoyue that each year you can receive one S-rank resource. So I decided for you, combine those two and exchange with the headmaster for an SS-rank resource. The vital blood of the Thunderstorm Rage Dragon, an 8th rank beast." Su Jingming gasped, "Teacher, you and the headmaster went so far on my behalf. I'll definitely repay this great favor doubly in the future." Yang Jintian patted his shoulder. "Your intention is enough. No time to waste, start now." In the second-floor training room, Yang Jintian poured the 8th rank Thunderstorm Rage Dragon blood over Su Jingming. Su Jingming screamed in agony but gritted his teeth and endured. Yang Jintian said, "Bear with it. Thunderstorm Rage Dragon blood is poison to low-level psionics. This kind of pain is normal. Next, I will use my Windfire True Thunder to help you establish the Immortal Body Foundation. How much you can absorb depends on you." Then Yang Jintian shouted, "Windfire True Thunder!" Sparks of fire lightning flowed from his hands into Su Jingming's body. His body began to absorb the vital blood while enduring the pain brought on by the blood and the Windfire True Thunder. The vital blood gradually circulated through Su Jingming's meridians. The Windfire True Thunder acted as a guide, driving the blood everywhere. The intense pain forced Su Jingming to throw his head back and howl. Continuous cracking sounds rang out as bursts of lightning force exploded. Outside the guest room, Lu Ming was sitting enjoying tea. He asked the steward, "Fubo, today is the 5th day, right? I didn't expect junior brother Su, newly arrived, could endure so long." The steward only smiled and said nothing. Lu Ming continued, "There's always someone greater. Back then I only lasted 2 days and couldn't bear it. Junior brother Su's performance really deserves the Dragon Grade 8 blood, plus an S-rank lightning psionic. I'm genuinely looking forward to his Thunderstorm Immortal Body." Suddenly, a loud noise came from the second-floor training room. Bang! Both Lu Ming and the steward were startled and looked up. Lu Ming immediately rushed upstairs. "Has Junior Brother's foundation been completed?" He opened the door and leaned in to look inside, only to see Su Jingming's body filled with a dark aura, his eyes vacant, chaotic death lightning running throughout his body. Lu Ming thought to himself that the intimidating presence felt like a top-tier beast, making others tremble. Unexpectedly, Su Jingming turned his head and lunged straight at Lu Ming to attack.
Yang Sentian shouted. Jiang Ming, wake up.
Su Jingming's movement immediately stopped. He rubbed his head and asked in puzzlement, Master, what happened to me just now? Why did I feel like destroying everything? Yang Zhentian smiled and replied, That was the thunderstorm rage dragon's vital blood affecting your mind. That species is notoriously ferocious, and with your absorption rate so high, those side effects appeared. But you don't need to worry. As long as your emotions don't swing too wildly, there won't be a problem. As your strength increases, this side effect will gradually disappear. Su Jingming looked at his hand and said, That's good. I don't want my emotions to control me and make me do things I'll regret. Yang Zhentian grinned. Cheer up a bit. This time your foundation was forged perfectly. Your absorption rate reached 98%. Among my 20 disciples who practiced the thunderstorm immortal body, the highest was only 92%. After so many years, you've broken the record. Lu Ming beside him smiled and said, Congratulations, junior brother, on successfully forging the thunderstorm immortal body foundation. Your martial path should be smooth from now on. Yang Zhentian also introduced, This is your senior brother, Lu Ming, a peak-level rank 3 psionic. If you have questions about cultivation, you can consult him. Su Jingming hurriedly clasped his hands. Greetings, senior brother Lu. Lu Ming took out his phone and said, I didn't prepare anything else for you. I'll transfer you some credit points as a welcome gift. Su Jingming opened his phone and was startled. 200 credits. Senior brother, that's too much. He thought to himself that a simple welcome gift already equaled 2 million Dejia currency. Yang Zhentian said, Only 200 credits. For your senior brother Lu, that's nothing. As a senior brother, you should look after your juniors. When you have your own juniors, you'll need to prepare similar welcome gifts. Su Jingming nodded. Understood, student does. Yang Zhentian rubbed his forehead and continued. The foundation is forged. You haven't eaten for 5 days. Go back and rest first. Tomorrow come here and follow senior brother Lu to learn palm and spear techniques. Su Jingming replied, Yes, thank you, master. Leaving the training room, Su Jingming returned to the dormitory. As soon as he entered, he saw a white-haired youth playing a video game. The other looked up and waved. Yo, you're my roommate, right? Hello, I'm Lu Wentao. Nice to meet you. Su Jingming nodded in return. Hello, I'm Su Jingming. Lu Wentao was immediately surprised. Su Jingming? You're the top scholar of Jiangnan province, right? Su Jingming asked back. You know me? Lu Wentao walked around while observing. Of course. I'm nicknamed Knows Everything. I keep close tabs on the news about this incoming class. I didn't specifically look into you, but the commotion was too big to miss. The Black Horse top scholar from Jiangnan rooming with me, he continued. So you really came from Jiang City? I heard it's not an easy place to live. When you took the college exam, were you really only a awakener? Your psionic power doesn't look like rank E at all. Su Jingming listened to his non-stop chatter and thought inwardly that this roommate was the talkative, enthusiastic type. But the feeling wasn't bad. After all, he never liked loneliness in either his past life or this one. He recalled images from his previous life. Growing up in an orphanage, never adopted, never truly belonging anywhere. School was better, he had friends to play with, but the happiest and most memorable time was university. Gaming every day with classmates, then preparing for master's and doctoral exams. Who would have guessed that after one night of heavy drinking at graduation, waking up would lead to transmigrating into this world? Unexpectedly, even after transmigrating, he was still an orphan. But at least this time he had a roommate like this. He wouldn't be lonely anymore. Lu Wentao continued introducing himself. I'm a mid-tier rank 1, mental type psionic ranked A, top 20 in Sichuan province, and I chose the Tactical Academy. In the future, I want to command millions of troops and eliminate all the beasts on Blue Star. Su Jingming held up a hand to stop him. All right, no more talk. I have to head to the Martial Hall in a bit. Lu Wentao exclaimed. The Martial Hall? I've never been to Madu University's Marshall Hall before. Scene shifts to the Thunderstorm Branch Marshall Hall of Madu University. Su Jingming and Lu Wentao arrived. Lu Wentao blurted out in amazement, "Wow! This place is lively." Inside, many students were showing off their abilities, fighting while laughing and chatting. "Ha ha! My C-Rank Yang Extreme Blazing Flame combat skill is finally mastered." "So what if you mastered it? You still can't break my metamorphosis layer. You're all trash. My third-level giantization. One slap, and I'll send you to the wall." At that moment, Eva introduced, "This is the hall's shared training room. It can accommodate 300 trainees at once. The entire hall is cast from C-grade alloy mixed with memory metal, so there's no worry about psionics or combat techniques causing destruction. If needed, you can choose a private training room." Su Jingming replied, "Not necessary for now, we'll train here." Lu Wentao moved while throwing punches. "Nice. These guys are testing their true strength." Su Jingming watched the chaotic scene in the arena and thought to himself that none of them were simple opponents. Lu Wentao continued observing, "Fire element type. Over there looks like an A-rank werewolf. Top 10 in Sichuan." Then he asked, "Eva, what are those pillars for?" Eva answered, "Those are the punching power challenge boards. 5 boards in total, corresponding to rank 1 through rank 5 psionics. So, do you two want to try? Just make the top 3,000 on the board to receive 50 credit points." Lu Wentao questioned, "Only 50 credits for top 3,000? He thought that Madu Psionics University had just over 4,000 students. With that, he cracked his knuckles and warmed up. "All right, let me try." Eva said, "Just swipe your student card on the pillar to start the challenge. This challenge only measures punching power. No psionics or combat techniques allowed." Lu Wentao swiped his card on the pillar. A voice announced, "Welcome Lu Wentao, student ID 20371256. Opening the punching power challenge. Everyone, please cheer." The students around immediately began to gossip. Someone opened the power challenge. Judging by the aura, probably mid-tier rank 1, looks like a freshman. "Ha ha! This should be entertaining." Hearing that, Lu Wentao ground his teeth inwardly. "Damn it, being watched like this when I start a challenge. I can't lose face." He then concentrated his strength and threw a punch at the pillar. Boom! Dust rose, machinery word, punching power, 476 kilograms. Rating, pass. Lu Wentao exhaled, thinking, "At least I didn't lose face. Making the top 3,000 should be fine." But immediately the machine continued, ranking, after 100,000. Lu Wentao froze. "What? After 100,000? Doesn't Madu Psionics University only have a little over 4,000 students?" Eva explained, "The system aggregates all students' achievements over the 100 years since the school was founded. It's not limited to the current cohort." "Not just this cohort?" Lu Wentao erupted. "Scam!" Laughter immediately broke out around them. "Ha ha ha! After 100,000, wow! When I was a freshman, I wasn't that low. Face red like a monkey. Definitely a freshman." Su Jingming patted his shoulder to console him. "Don't mind it. You're a mental type. Physical strength isn't your forte." Lu Wentao forced a laugh. "Sigh. Thanks for the comfort. Want to give it a try? You're definitely stronger than me." Su Jingming took out his student card. "All right, I want to test it too." Lu Wentao excitedly cheered. "Go for it. The dorm's honor depends on you." A voice announced, "Welcome, Su Jingming, student ID 2037012004. Opening the punching power challenge. Everyone, please cheer." The surrounding students immediately paid attention, some glancing with a hint of disdain. "Another freshman? This aura is even weaker, just low-tier rank 1. He probably can't reach 400 kilograms punching power. Wait, this name seems vaguely familiar." Su Jingming rolled up his sleeves and stepped forward. He calculated inwardly. After advancing to rank 1 psionic and 5 days of training the Thunderstorm Immortal Body Foundation, his physical strength had increased greatly. The system panel displayed,
Su Jingming.
rank, low-tier rank 1. Psionic. Void-devouring divine thunder. Rank S. Stamina. 391. Vitality plus spirit. 289. Skills. Advanced spear techniques. Electric piercing disorder break. Advanced. Thunderstorm immortal body. Foundation. Psionic points. 2234. He clenched his fist, wondering just how strong he was now. No more hesitation. He stepped back half a pace, twisted his body, and focused all his force into his arm. Then threw the most powerful punch he had. Boom! A strike slammed into the test pillar. Time seemed to pause for a beat. The previous chatter fell completely silent. The machine voice rang out. Punching power, 4,589 kilograms. Peak level power. Congratulations. Record broken. Immediately afterwards, the leaderboard appeared.
Rang 1. Su Jinming 4,589 kg.
Rang 2. La yang 4,321 kg.
Rang 3. Chen Daihai 4,220 kg.
The entire hall was silent for a few seconds, then erupted. Holy! He broke the record? Over 4,500 kilograms? What can a low-tier rank 1 do? One punch like that could shatter someone. Is he really a freshman? A girl covered her mouth in shock. The top 1,000 on this board are all generational leaders. How terrifying will his future be? A short-haired girl immediately said, "The number 1 pillar record has stood for over 10 years. I have to record this." Lu Wentao stood beside him, eyes shining, excitedly said, "Brother, you're my real brother now. From now on I'm your little brother. Where you go, I go." Su Jingming hurriedly waved him off. "Don't brag like that," but inwardly he breathed out slightly and clenched his hand. The result was even better than he expected. The Thunderstorm Rage Dragon and Su Jingming were indeed highly compatible. The upgrade effect was rapid. Eva stepped forward to congratulate Su Jingming on breaking the record. A reward of 400 credit points was sent to his student account. Su Jingming, pleased, asked if he would still receive credits for breaking the record again at the same rank in the future. Eva replied that at the same rank, credit rewards are only given the first time a record is broken. Afterward, you can challenge other groups to compete for credit rewards. Su Jingming looked around, thinking that beyond the 4 pillars corresponding to rank 2 through rank 5 psionics, he could try breaking each in turn later. Nearby, Lu Wentao was boasting to some girls that Su Jingming was his roommate. At that moment, a pink-haired girl shoved Lu Wentao aside and approached Su Jingming, saying he was a new junior and she would show him how to use the equipment. Another girl laughed. Then someone else invited Su Jingming to join their club because they were short on members. Su Jingming felt a little flustered, hurriedly pulled Lu Wentao away, and suggested they go to a private training room. Lu Ming, looking at his phone, broke into a sweat and told the teacher that his junior Su had trended on the school's hot search after testing punching power and breaking the record over 4,500 kilograms. The physical intensity of this junior was truly outrageous. Yang Zhentian sipped his tea and smiled, saying not to worry. Rest first, then go break the hall's punching record. Lu Ming sighed inwardly, recalling that when he was upper-tier rank 1, first level of the Thunderstorm Immortal Body, his punching power test was only just over 3,500 kilograms. Su Jingming was far stronger than he had been. Elsewhere, a young man reading the news on his phone angrily crushed the cup on the table. He ground his teeth. Su Jingming actually came to Madu, stealing his title as Jiangnan's top scholar and making him a laughingstock in Ning'an City. This time he would definitely reclaim the honor that belonged to him. Meanwhile, Su Jingming smiled, thinking that after obtaining the Thunderstorm Immortal Body, even 5 days and nights without food left him brimming with energy. He stabbed his small knife into his hand, but the blade shattered instantly. He realized his body's defensive strength was on par with E-grade alloy. For an ordinary person, that essentially meant blades and spears couldn't penetrate. No wonder it was a rank S group combat technique. At that moment, Lu Wentao rushed in and called out loudly, Brother Ming, your record-breaking feat is still trending on the school's web. Lots of people say they want to challenge you." Su Jingming started and uttered, "Huh," then smiled and said, "Huh, Madu University's martial arts scene is indeed quite strong. Lu Wentao immediately snapped, Brother Ming, let me help you roast those people who don't know their limits. Su Jingming waved him off. Forget it. Don't waste time. I still need to go to the combat technique library. You go back to the dorm and rest. Scene shifts to the combat technique library. Su Jingming placed his hand on the scanner, looked up and thought. The rumor that the combat technique library was overseen by the school's space system vice principal proved true. With such protective systems, even a 9th-rank martial saint would struggle to seize the items inside. Truly formidable. Then he swiped his student card. The spatial protection interface immediately fluctuated. Su Jingming entered and was greeted by staff. Welcome, S-rank student, to the combat technique library. How may we assist you? Su Jingming asked suspiciously. You know me? The girl smiled and replied. Students with S-level privileges can view all combat techniques in the library. When you scanned your student card, the system automatically notified us. The girl thought inwardly that S-level privileges meant limitless potential, at least an eventual psionic grandmaster, so it was important to cultivate good relations. Su Jingming understood and said, I want to view lightning electrical system combat techniques. What floor? The girl answered, Below B rank is in the public area on floors 2 and 3. Above B rank is in the classroom on floor 4. Swipe your card to enter. She pointed the way. This way, please. Su Jingming smiled. Yes, thank you. At that moment Eva appeared and reminded him. After completing a combat technique challenge, the system will award an original manual. Since B rank and above techniques are very valuable, please pay special attention while learning. Su Jingming replied. Display all lightning electrical combat techniques B rank and above. Eva answered. Understood. Eva then projected numerous images. 10,000 Thunder Heavenly Trap, SSS-Rank Technique, centers on lightning electric psionics to create a thunderous field up to 80 kilometers in diameter. This technique is reserved for lightning electrical psionics above B rank and requires the learner to be above rank 5. Lightning God's Wrath, SS rank, descends like divine punishment onto a thunder hall with terrifying force. This technique is also reserved for lightning electrical psionic users B rank and above, requiring the psionic to be above rank 4 to learn. Su Jingming was startled to see this. SS rank techniques were already formidable, yet there were even SSS ranks. The university's top technique manuals were frighteningly abundant and surprisingly free to view. Unfortunately, training psionics and ranks have requirements. Currently, he could only learn A-rank techniques, including offense, defense, movement, support, and group tactics. There were countless A-rank techniques. Fortunately, a teacher would guide him, otherwise choosing would be very difficult. He took out a recommendation form previously given by his teacher, which saved him a lot of time. He then began selecting combat techniques. Finally, he chose 4 techniques. Thunder Lance, A-rank, condenses thunder into a long lance and fires it from a distance. Continuous Thunder Spear, A-rank, a long spear infused with thunder that repeatedly strikes vital points, accumulating lightning in the enemy's body and detonating at the end. Thunder Step, A-rank, bursts thunder to move quickly a short distance in a designated direction. Thunder Prison, A-rank, condenses thunder into a prison spear to lock the enemy in place. Su Jingming stroked his chin, thinking Thunder Lance is a ranged attack, Continuous Thunder Spear is close-range suppression, Thunder Step is a movement technique, and Thunder Prison is crowd control. The 4 techniques combined with the Thunderstorm Immortal Body left almost no weaknesses. Eva checked and reminded him that each A-rank technique typically takes about 6 months to master, and suggested combining other lower-rank techniques to optimize effectiveness. Su Jingming waved his hand. No need. This is enough. At that moment, the girl who guided him brought out 4 technique manuals and said, Classmate Su, these are your combat techniques. Su Jingming put the 4 books on the table, thinking to himself that B and C rank manuals already cost hundreds of thousands, and A rank ones were astronomical. Yet he had obtained 4 in an instant. Truly extravagant. He flipped through each technique page, but a mysterious, indescribable feeling surfaced in his mind. The intent and chi flow within the manuals were so subtle they were hard to grasp. No wonder A rank techniques can only be learned from originals. Once copied, their full essence cannot be reproduced. Then Su Jingming began to sit and study the techniques. Time passed quickly. Sweat had begun to bead on Su Jingming's forehead. He paused for a moment and yawned, then leaned back in his chair and exhaled. All red, deep blue, extra refinement points. Consumed 200 psionic points. Thunder Lance has reached novice. Consumed 200 psionic points. Continuous Thunder Spear has reached novice. Consumed 200 psionic points. Thunder Step has reached novice. Consumed 200 psionic points. Thunder Prison has reached novice. Su Jingming opened his info interface. Name, Su Jingming. Rank, low tier rank 1. Psionic. Void Devouring Divine Thunder S. Stamina, 391. Vitality plus Spirit, 289. Skills. Advanced Spear Methods, Thunder Lance, Novice. Continuous Thunder Spear, Novice. Thunder Step, Novice. Thunder Prison, Novice. Electric Piercing Disorder Break, Advanced. Thunderstorm Immortal Body Level 1. Psionic Points, 1434. Su Jingming clenched his fist, feeling the changes in his body. With so many techniques, he wondered which lucky opponent would be the first to test their power. At the dorm, night had fallen and the moon hung high. Lu Wentao saw Su Jingming return and said, "Brother Ming, Eva just announced that tomorrow at 9 a.m. there will be a freshman assembly at field number 1. They're also creating a large group for freshmen."
Su Jingming note that. Okay.
He scanned the code to join the chat group. Lu Wentao curiously asked, "By the way, Brother Ming, what rank of techniques did you choose?" Su Jingming answered, "For A-rank techniques." Lu Wentao's mouth dropped open. "A rank? 4 of them? After studying those you'd probably need 2 or 3 years before you could call yourself proficient." As expected of Brother Ming, not following the usual path. After thinking a bit, he asked again, "You can view A-rank techniques, so your privileges must be A-rank, right?" Su Jingming shook his head. "Not A-rank, S-rank." This time Lu Wentao sprang to his feet. "S-rank? Our school has privileges above A? How do you have S-rank privileges? So you're not E-rank psionic, as the internet says, but S-rank." Su Jingming glanced at him, smiled, his eyes carrying a hint of mystery, as if deliberately letting the other infer the rest. Lu Wentao listened closely, thinking inwardly. Although he suspected Su Jingming's evaluation was exceptional, he hadn't expected real S-rank privileges. Most other provincial top scholars only reached A-rank. Looks like investing in connections paid off. He'd have to become a hardcore fan. Whatever Su Jingming said, Lu Wentao gave a thumbs up, smiling with satisfaction. In the training room on the 2nd floor, Su Jingming lifted his spear, light as air. He was practicing spear techniques for free and thought that with techniques acquired, his equipment needed upgrading. His previous F-grade ebony spear was damaged and, even if intact, couldn't keep up with his current intensity. He then opened the school's armory with Eva to search for weapons. Eva replied, "Yes." On the armory interface, Su Jingming looked for a while. F, E, D-grade spears of all kinds, even adjustable length and weight. But higher grades were heavier and pricier. He ultimately chose an E-grade spear weighing 210 kilograms, plus a set of combat clothes and combat boots. The total cost was 237 credit points. After payment, the system showed 382.6 credits remaining. Transaction complete, the equipment would be delivered the next morning. Su Jingming thought how quickly credits disappeared. He'd spent nearly half in an instant. Before the new weapon arrived, he would have to make do with this. Tonight, he decided to train the 4 A-rank techniques he had just learned. The next day, the freshman assembly took place. A large crowd had gathered. Su Jingming was also present and immediately became the center of attention, especially among the female students. "Everyone look. That's Su Jingming, the one who broke the school record yesterday and the top scholar of Jiangnan province. At first I thought he'd be all muscle and rough, but he's actually so handsome." Just then, a male student stood up and shouted, "Su Jingming, Loi Zhu, I challenge you." The hall erupted. "That's Loi Zhu, 2nd place in Jiangnan province's martial exam. I heard he scored over 9,300. Both his parents are rank 4 psionics. His talent is strong. It's a shame he's always second. No wonder he's resentful. Su Jingming glanced at him and said coldly, "Sorry, I'm not interested." Loi Zhu stepped forward a notch and lowered his voice. "Don't be so quick to refuse. I remember your little sister is trading rare flowers and herbs, right? My family runs the largest purchasing business, and we currently have a huge debt. If it's not paid in time, your sister's business might run into quite a bit of trouble." Su Jingming's eyes immediately turned cold, his aura flaring as he stared at Loi Zhu. "Are you threatening me?" Loi Zhu sensed the danger and quickly stumbled back, widening the distance. Cold sweat ran down his face and he was terrified. He couldn't understand why the other's aura had erupted like a feral beast. He forced himself calm and said, "Not a threat, just a reminder." Su Jingming asked coolly, "Time and place?" Loi Zhu replied, 12 noon tomorrow, Arena 3.
Su Jingming nodded. Fine.
"I'll be there. Hope you don't regret it." The crowd buzzed immediately. First place versus second place. The matchup instantly became hot topic. Many began reserving spots to watch the match. At that moment, a teacher stepped onto the podium to calm the crowd. "Students, welcome to Madhu Psionic University. This freshman assembly is not the formal opening ceremony but a briefing on credit systems and advisors for each department. First, I'd like to introduce the school's strategic ranking system. You'll participate in simulated secret pods to fight in virtual environments, and rankings are based on the number of stages cleared. The higher you climb, the richer the rewards. Strive to move up the ranks." Another female teacher came forward to continue. Below, students chatted excitedly, some thrilled, some curious. Su Jingming let out a small yawn, thinking it would finally end. Only the simulated secret pods interested him. He might try them later. For the next few days, he'd better find Senior Lu Ming and his instructor to continue training. Beside him, Lu Wentao had dozed off, nodding off repeatedly. In the following days, Su Jingming began an intensive training schedule. He went to Lu Ming to practice basics, then to Yang Zhentian to train spear techniques combined with the lightning system, and then sat in meditation alone to feel the flow, refining the void-devouring divine thunder within his body. 7 days later, Lu Ming, drenched in sweat, asked in astonishment, "Junior brother, have you advanced to mid-tier rank 1 already? How long has it been?" Su Jingming replied calmly, "Just lucky." He thought to himself that he had deliberately waited a few days before using 386 psionic points to advance from low-tier to mid-tier. Otherwise, he might have shocked Senior Lu too much. Lu Ming then came over, patted Su Jingming's shoulder and asked, "Right? I recall you have an appointment with another freshman at noon today?" Su Jingming nodded. "That's right." Lu Ming smiled. "All right. I'll mentally bless your opponent for 3 minutes. We'll go together later. I also want to see how strong my junior brother is at full power." Before reaching the arena, Loi Zhu was already there. A large crowd gathered and chatted. "There's over a month until the freshman contest. This is a perfect chance to see the provincial top scholar's strength." I looked him up. Su Jingming seems to come from quite far away. Probably just a local advantage. Not necessarily. I heard he recently broke the school's punching power record. Ha! A strength record means nothing. In the end, a psionic's combat power is what counts. At that moment, Su Jingming appeared, followed by Lu Ming smiling behind him. "Oh, Su Jingming is here!" The shout went up all around. Lu Ming looked at his junior brother and clicked his tongue. "With that look of yours, who knows how many female students you'll make swoon in the future." On the arena, Loi Zhu assessed silently. He noticed Su Jingming's aura was stronger than before but remained confident. He had other preparations. He spoke up, "Su Jingming, just deciding a winner is boring. How about we bet all our credits? Do you dare?"
Su Jingming replied calmly, "Fine."
"I have 3.7 million. Loi Zhu sneered. "If my credits aren't enough, I'll cover the rest with worthless currency." To ensure fairness, all credits were transferred to the referee's escrow account. Not far away, a female teacher appeared, aura steady. Chu Yun, a healer-type psionic, mid-tier rank 6, serving as the arena's referee. Su Jingming thought privately that psionic fights are dangerous and the school wouldn't want on-site deaths. Having a healer referee made it safer. He transferred all his credits to the escrow account. Below, the cheers grew louder. 3.7 million credits? Going big. This match is gonna be lit. Chuyun raised her hand and announced, "Credits confirmed. The match begins. If one side yields or loses consciousness, stop immediately. Pursuit after the match is strictly prohibited. Violations will be severely punished. Clear?"
Su Jingming note that. Understood.
He jumped onto the arena. The black spear in his hand emanated a chill. Loi Zhu stepped up as well and drew his blade, eyes full of confidence. Understood. They both took their stances. Auras erupted. The battle officially began. Su Jingming, the glory you took from me, today I'll take back entirely. Seeing Loi Zhu's momentum, the students below felt a bit fearful. No wonder he was an A-rank fire element psionic, truly terrifying. Even from a distance it felt scorching. Above, Loi Zhu launched himself up, then swung his blade using the move Blazing Slash. Fire flames erupted from the sword, glowing red and carrying terrifying heat. At that moment, the blade was nearly touching the top of Su Jingming's head, but Su Jingming simply lifted his long spear lightly to block. The spectators below gasped in astonishment. He blocked the attack without using a technique. A normal attack shattered the special move. Loi Zhu ground his teeth, eyes full of disbelief, his body trembling slightly. How is this possible? Su Jingming looked at him coldly and said, "Nothing is impossible because you're too weak." Immediately, Su Jingming thrust the spear hard forward, striking Loi Zhu. With his other hand, he reached back as violet thunder flashed and crackled. Loi Zhu struggled to defend, sweat dotting his face. Violet thunder from Su Jingming grew denser. Then he swept the spear horizontally, and Loi Zhu was blasted backward with no ability to resist. Blood poured from his body. His body skidded across the arena floor and only stopped when it slammed into the barrier. The onlookers began to discuss. Was it already over? Su Jingming had only used the spear twice. Wasn't Loi Zhu supposed to be stronger? How was he defeated in an instant? That blazing slash move most freshmen here probably couldn't withstand. Could only be said that Su Jingming's strength led the freshmen. Outside, Lu Ming thought to himself that this was too boring. His junior brother hadn't even been pushed to 10% of his strength. Chu Yun, seeing Loi Zhu knocked away, called out, "You won this match so," but before she finished, Loi Zhu wiped the blood from his mouth and said, "Teacher, I don't admit defeat. The match isn't over." Then Loi Zhu gritted his teeth and produced a blood-red pill from his body. Chu Yun screamed immediately, "A bloodburst pill? Do you not value your life? This is just a match, not a suicide mission." Those above were also shocked that Loi Zhu would take out a bloodburst pill. Although it can multiply one's power briefly, its side effects are severe. Afterward, one might be bedridden for 2 months. Is it worth it? Indeed, the contest is in a month, an all-or-nothing gamble. Loi Zhu forced himself through the pain and said, "It's fine. Whatever consequences, I'll bear them alone. I'll risk it. If I lose, I accept it." People above began shouting, Hey, you can use pills in a match? Isn't this cheating in an exam?" "Right. This is against the rules." Chu Yun explained, "This is an unofficial duel with no strict rule limits. Like weapons, combat gear, and medicines, any items that can be used for advantage are allowed. If Su Jingming has pills, he could use them too." Loi Zhu swallowed the bloodburst pill. His body flared, his aura grew fiercer, and fiery flames burned around him. He roared, "Ha!" Chu Yun thought privately that the pill's grade wasn't low. It directly raised Loi Zhu to low-tier rank 2. This would give Su Jingming a problem. She looked back at Su Jingming and saw him unnaturally calm, his eyes showing the bearing of someone experienced. She smiled, noting his combat gear seemed even stronger and his demeanor had the air of a great commander. Su Jingming gave a satisfied smile, thinking this was finally not a big person beating a child. He gripped his spear. The violet thunder in his body began to erupt, running along the shaft. In an instant, he launched himself forward to attack Loi Zhu. The move he used was Thunder Stealth. Loi Zhu, seeing Su Jingming appear before him in a blink, thought in shock. His speed is really fast. He brought his blade up to block. The clash between spear and blade rang ear-piercing. Loi Zhu gritted his teeth and struggled to hold the defense, but in an instant his blade was knocked from his hand and his body was thrown back. This time he spun to steady himself and dropped to one knee to regain balance. The arm holding the blade trembled. He let out a soft groan, inwardly terrified. Now that his power had reached rank 2, he still couldn't match Su Jingming's strength. What kind of monster was he? Since direct clash didn't work, he decided to keep distance and attack. With that, he began using his psionic ability to strike from afar. Su Jingming used his violet thunder to dispel the fiery flames and asked disdainfully, "Is that all you've got?" Loi Zhu ground his teeth. "Damn. What lightning power does Su Jingming use? There's no opening at all. But he still can't get close to me. Before the pill's effect fades, I must exhaust his thunder reserves. Then I still have a chance." With that thought, Loi Zhu accelerated the fire lash projectiles. Su Jingming saw it and immediately formed a thunder spear. A spear of violet thunder, then he threw it with all his strength straight at Loi Zhu. Su Jingming's thunder spear pierced through one of Loi Zhu's arms. He clutched his arm, inwardly horrified. Not good. He also has long-range attack tricks. At that moment a sphere appeared above him, absorbing the violet thunder around it ever faster. Loi Zhu grew more terrified and blurted, "This? What kind of combat technique is this?" Su Jingming said coldly, "Thunder prison." From the sphere a web of electricity descended, forming a cage that trapped Loi Zhu inside. He snarled, "Damn it, it's a restriction-type technique." He tensed his body and used his fire shield skill. Fiery flames erupted outward to counter Su Jingming's thunder prison. Then he smiled and said, "I can't get out. Come on, you and your red lot go in and see who exhausts whom." A flash of interest lit Su Jingming's eyes as he stepped closer. "Fire shield, your defense seems not ordinary. Let's see how many of my spear strikes it can withstand." Then he leapt high, preparing to thrust his spear. Violet thunder continuously battered Loi Zhu's fire shield. He drove the long spear forward, unleashing a continuous thunder spear barrage. In the blink of an eye dozens, then hundreds of spear tips imbued with violet thunder flew at him. Loi Zhu's fire shield was under constant assault, but he struggled to hold it. But the spears grew stronger and stronger. Loi Zhu panicked. "I'm dead. If one hits, I'll definitely die." With that thought he shouted loudly, "I concede!" At that moment Su Jingming's spear points stopped right before his heart. Su Jingming quickly shoved the spear shaft downward, and the long spear immediately pierced through one of Loi Zhu's shoulders, blood gushing without stop. Loi Zhu cried out in pain, "Eh!" Su Jingming withdrew his spear and stood looking at Loi Zhu. Loi Zhu was clutching his wound, collapsed on the arena floor. Chu Yun seized the moment to announce the result. The winner of this match is Su Jingming. Those above began discussing annihilation, absolute annihilation. In just 4 or 5 seconds, he consecutively used 4 combat techniques. That was truly showy. The chain of techniques was so seamless, freshmen shouldn't have that level. But the power of Su Jingming's techniques didn't look bad either. Each technique felt like rank B, right? For rank B techniques is fierce. The best I know is only rank C. Lu Ming rubbed his forehead, thinking, rank B, you're all underestimating my junior brother. For rank A techniques, he really dared to pick that. Even more unbelievable, he could actually use them in real combat. Back then I only dared choose one rank A technique, Thunder Stealth, and it still took over 4 months to learn. Having a junior brother like that is a mountain of pressure. Loi Zhu then spoke, "Su Jingming, thanks for holding back your initial spear. This time I admit defeat genuinely. The credits and the worthless currency belong to you. I'll also pay the fee for your little lady on schedule." Chu Yun stepped forward and said, 50 credits and 3.2 million worthless currency have been transferred to the student's account. Su Jingming smiled and replied, "Yes." He thought inwardly. The bet settled quickly. Lu Wentao below laughed excitedly. "Min, you're amazing. You've become rich this time. Want to go to Madu Book Rest City Center tonight?" Su Jingming answered, "No, I have to train with senior brother later." Before he finished, Lu Ming cut in from below. Go, you should rest sometimes to keep going long-term. You've been training so much, you really should relax a bit. Su Jingming smiled and replied, then I'll listen to senior brother. Lu Wentao looked at the speaker in shock. Lu Ming, deputy head of the Koyitan Guild, Jade District's Tranloy, rank A lightning psionic. He turned and said, the person looks even more charismatic in real life than in the photo. At that moment Su Jingming was also stepping off the arena. Lu Wentao followed him out, then said, so it's settled for tonight. Min, just come with me. I'll arrange the rest of the program. Su Jingming asked in puzzlement. Program? Lu Wentao waved a finger and said, a college must not miss event. The social mingling activity between the male and female dorms. At that moment a large spread of delicious food was laid out on the table. Lu Wentao, still carrying dishes, smiled at Su Jingming. Min, your popularity this time is a huge windfall. I posted the invitation on the forum. Guess how many people signed up? Su Jingming looked confused as Lu Wentao put the plate down. Su Jingming said, you're really enthusiastic about this. Picking 1 out of 100 people. This time I'm really curious who you'll choose in the end. Lu Wentao grinned. Heh, I'll keep it secret for now. You'll meet them later. Just then someone entered. Lu Wentao said, speak of Chow Chow and he'll appear. Then he called out loudly, over here. Over here. 2 beautiful girls approached. The bespectacled student waved and greeted, good evening, you two. I'm Zidonga. I accepted the invitation to come. The other girl also waved. I'm his roommate, Song Thuyun. Lu Wentao introduced to Su Jingming. Zidonga is a beast-type enhancement psionic. Song Thuyun is a top-tier first rank, light element psionic of rank A, and she's this cohort's provincial top scorer from Sichuan. Su Jingming also raised his hand to greet them, then smiled and introduced himself. Nice to meet you. I'm Su Jingming. The two exclaimed in surprise. Su Jingming. So you're Su Jingming. Song Thuyun looked at him with a slight competitive gleam and asked, interested in sparring a bit? Pick the time and place. Zidonga glanced at Song Thuyun awkwardly. Hey, Thuyun, you're really battle-obsessed. Why arrange a fight right after meeting? We're here to hang out. Song Thuyun answered in surprise. Huh? It's a hangout? I thought today I'd get to spar with classmate Su. Su Jingming smiled and said, it's a misunderstanding. Please have a seat. Lu Wentao added, yes, we're going out tonight. Eat first. Then we'll stroll and go shopping together. After the meal, the group went to Madu City Center, to the Huaihai shopping street. Looking up at the skyscrapers, Song Thuyun couldn't help exclaiming, wow, it's so prosperous. Everyone wore similar expressions as they looked around. They saw stalls displaying trendy clothes, and even weapons and pills were available. Su Jingming thought to himself, no wonder this is a top-tier shopping street. Battle garments, weapons, and pills are far more complete than in Jiang City. At that moment Song Thuyun suddenly snatched Su Jingming's skewer, to the astonishment of the others. Su Jingming stood stunned in place. Then the pretty girls resumed their shopping journey. The various shopping bags, big and small, were carried by Su Jingming and Lu Wentao. Su Jingming watched them happily selecting more items. Seeing the pile of bags in his hands, he was shocked. Just one evening and they'd spent millions. Song Thuyun looked simply dressed but turned out to be a little rich. Lu Wentao said, Min, you don't know. She not only has money, but also powerful connections. Zidonga looked toward the two and called out, gentlemen, help carry one more bag. Seems like it's time to head back. After strolling and shopping to their satisfaction, the two girls finally agreed to go home. Su Jingming and Lu Wentao carried their bags all the way back to the dormitory. Zidonga said, I'll see you off here. Song Thuyun glanced at Su Jingming with bright eyes. We had a great time today. Thank you both. Su Jingming turned to leave, not forgetting to wave farewell. No need for formalities, goodbye. Suddenly Song Thuyun blushed and said, Su Jingming, I was serious earlier. Someday in the future I'll seek your guidance and spar with you. Su Jingming looked back at her with some puzzlement, then smiled and replied, no problem. I'm looking forward to it. Song Thuyun smiled in response, her face flushing a little more. Seeing her expression, Zidonga covered her mouth to stifle a laugh, then said, Thiyun, since enrollment I've never seen you look so well toward a male student. But you treat Su Jingming nicely. Bringing you to this meetup was the right call. Song Thiyun thought to herself, my rank A divine light ability can sense inner thoughts. I can tell this boy is not simple. But Su Jingming is different. He only has goodwill and no ill intent. In short, he's very special. Zidonga rubbed her chin and glanced at Song Thiyun. Looks like Miss Song has fallen in love. Meanwhile, Lu Wentao breathed out. Phew, it's not bad to go out for a walk sometimes. Su Jingming replied. Indeed. Then he smiled and added, Song Thiyun, top first rank? Looks like I still have to keep working hard. Cut to the night 15 days later. Su Jingming was still diligently training, sitting and staring at the combat manual below. He said, maybe I can rank up once more. Tamlam, give me a bit more. Psionic points spent 456. Middle rank 1 rose to upper rank 1. Psionic points spent 354. Thunderstorm Immortal Body Tier 1 rose to Thunderstorm Immortal Body Tier 2. After completing the upgrade, Su Jingming exhaled and thought. Ranking up still enhances overall strength as before. Thunderstorm Immortal Body Tier 2 mainly strengthens muscular and skeletal evolution. According to the records in the book, if one can break through to Tier 3, it can unlock the special state Thunder Extreme Mode, which drastically boosts strength and speed for a short time. Thunder Extreme Mode is truly worth looking forward to. It's a pity my psionic points are nearly exhausted. At that moment his info panel displayed. Su Jingming. Rank, upper rank 1. Psionic. Void Devouring Divine Thunder. Rank S. Chi. 520. Vital Blood. 421. Skill Advanced Spear Technique. Physique. Thunderstorm Immortal Body Tier 2. Shunic Points. 62. After reading it, Su Jingming thought, it's time to ask the master for leave and go to the wilderness to hunt ferocious beasts to replenish psionic points. He then went to see Yang Zhentian. Seeing him advance to upper rank 1, Yang Zhentian was astonished. Songming, you broke through again? Su Jingming clasped his hands and replied, I was just about to tell you. Last night I broke through. Also my Thunderstorm Immortal Body reached Tier 2. Yang Zhentian was shocked again. Rank breakthrough and physique breakthrough are extremely difficult. Su Jingming said casually, Rank S psionic plus rigorous training. How could I not succeed? Lu Ming behind them chimed in. I told you, the little junior brother is a monster. When I progressed from middle rank 1 to upper rank 1, it still took me half a year. Yang Zhentian nodded. Ranking up is important, but real combat training can't be neglected. Spar with senior brother Lu so I can see how strong you are after the upgrade. Su Jingming nodded. Agreed. Then he and Lu Ming went up to the second floor and entered the training room. Lu Ming handed him a long spear. Junior brother, I'll suppress my strength to lower rank 2. Give it your all. Yang Zhentian outside began the count. 3. Both Lu Ming and Su Jingming readied themselves. Yang Zhentian's voice rang out. Begin! At that moment both of them disappeared from sight, leaving only interlaced streaks of blue and purple lightning. The two spearheads collided, producing a shockwave and a loud reverberation. Flames spat up at the point of impact. Lu Ming frowned, thinking, the power is truly great, yet it's on par with mine. Su Jingming inwardly thought the same. Since getting the system, this is the first time he's met an opponent of equal strength. He then leaped back, raised his right hand, gathered lightning, and used the combat skill Thunder Prison. A prison instantly appeared, enclosing Lu Ming inside, but Lu Ming showed no fear. Next came a chain of thunder spears launched by Su Jingming. Sharp spears formed from lightning hurtled toward Lu Ming. The corner of Lu Ming's mouth lifted. Not bad. A combo meant to defeat thunder pillars. Too bad I'm not a freshman. Saying that, he immediately used the combat skill Jade Cluster True Thunder, a bolt of blue lightning that shattered the Thunder Prison and Su Jingming's chain of thunder spears. After 20 minutes of combat, Su Jingming lowered his spear and panted. Master, senior brother. My divine thunder is depleted. I lost. Lu Ming also gently dropped to the ground and said, in terms of technique you didn't lose. You just suffered from energy depletion. Yang Jintian, who had come in from outside, praised, "Not bad. Truly an exceptional fight. Jingming's performance exceeded my expectations. I thought Lu Ming would win easily, but the two were evenly matched. In the end, it came down to stamina." Lu Ming looked at Su Jingming and smiled. "Do you know what rank your strength just reached?" Su Jingming asked curiously. "What rank?" Lu Ming said, "Champion Tier 2. Su Jingming was slightly surprised. Yang Jintian interrupted. "All right, end the live combat training and take a break." At that moment, the steward entered the training room carrying a tray. Yang Jintian pointed to the tray and introduced, "These azure spirit fruits can dispel fatigue, just right after training." Lu Ming stepped forward to take a fruit, and Su Jingming approached Yang Jintian. "Master, I have something to ask you." Yang Jintian asked with surprise. "Go ahead." Su Jingming came straight to the point. "I'm preparing to leave the school and take a trip to the wilderness." Yang Jintian asked again. "The wilderness? How long do you intend to go?" Su Jingming replied, "Over a month. I'll return before the freshman tournament." Yang Jintian asked, "That long?" He thought to himself, "This wilderness isn't like the university arena. There are no troops guarding it. Ferocious beasts run rampant and kill indiscriminately, and their distribution is irregular. If one isn't careful, it's easy to encounter high-grade beasts. Don't even mention spending a month there, the danger is obvious." After thinking, he patted Su Jingming's shoulder and said, "Fine. If you want to go, then go. Remember, if anything goes wrong, run immediately. The rise of every powerful one must pass life and death risks. If you seek advancement, this master will not stop you." Su Jingming bowed. "Thank you, master." Yang Jintian asked again. "Right. Which wilderness are you going to?" Su Jingming replied, "The wilderness on the outskirts of Yuanchu City." Yang Jintian stroked his long beard. "That's acceptable near Madu. The highest beasts are only grade 4 or 5. Relatively not dangerous. I'll have Lu Ming pass on some experience to you." Su Jingming smiled. "Yes, master." Then he stepped forward to take an azure spirit fruit to eat. Yang Jintian continued, "Prepare to go out. I really can't help much more. I'll give you a handheld weapon." Saying so, he pushed the ring lightly with his thumb, and the ring emitted a glow, and a long spear, neatly wrapped in cloth, appeared in his hand. Su Jingming was startled. "This is a storage space?" Now back in the dormitory, Su Jingming sat on his bed with the long spear placed beside him. Then he opened the school's mission system. A slew of missions appeared before him. He thought to himself, based on senior brother's advice, before leaving school it's best to take outside missions to earn credits. Collect beast materials, gather rare herbs and flowers, hunt down escaped criminals, and join major campaigns. The task list appeared. Mission 1. Collect 30 gene of tiger sinew from a grade 2 viperclaw tiger. Reward, 60 credits. Rank, C. Mission 2. Collect 30 blue spirit herbs older than 20 years. Reward, 43 credits.
Rank D.
Mission 3. Participate in a campaign in the Southwest City. Requires above middle rank 2. Reward, 600 credits. Rank F. Mission 4. Assist Madu Public Security Bureau in apprehending grade 3 escaped criminals. Reward, 200 credits. Rank A. Su Jingming read the mission board and exhaled. High-credit missions inevitably involve combat, truly pushing students into life-and-death situations. This is the cultivation approach of Madu Psionic University. No wonder people say the top students of Madu Psionic University aren't inside the school but outside, choosing A and B rank missions. He then selected a mission, and in a moment slung on his backpack. Preparations were complete. There was no time to delay. He had to depart immediately. Eva called after him, "Good luck." Cut to the relief base of Yuanchu City, where psionics bustled about. Shouts assigning missions rang everywhere. Beast hunting teams recruited from afar, C-rank squads were recruiting, and vendors hawked various items and top-tier pills. "Come take a look. Anyone accepting the search mission?" Su Jingming arrived as well. He smiled at the scene. Finally, I've reached Yuanchu City's relief base. He then continued to step inside. He entered the adventurer registration hall, which was also crowded with people. A female receptionist saw him and approached. "Welcome, sir. How may I assist you?" Su Jingming presented his ID card. "I want to register as an adventurer." He thought inwardly. To enter the wilderness, one must first register as a nationally recognized adventurer. The girl looked at his card and said, "A first-year student from Madu Psionic University, wanting to enter the wilderness. Rare. The paperwork will take some time. You should rest while I process it." She then went inside to handle the formalities, and Su Jingming stepped outside to wait. Suddenly, a loud exclamation drew everyone's attention. "Wow! It's the goddess Kuang Suyen." Those around turned. "Our goddess is so beautiful, worthy of Madu Psionic University. Her aura, so powerful." Su Jingming also glanced over curiously and saw a stunningly beautiful girl with an extraordinary bearing walking up, accompanied by a tall man, with people behind them holding recording cameras. This girl was Kuang Suyen, a second-year student at Madu Psionic University. People began to gossip. "Looks like Goddess Kuang is heading into the wilderness again to gather material and film. Her videos are all done with a team, but the quality is superb. I watch every episode. Her online fan base must be over 10 million, right? Not just that, 15 million. Be my girlfriend and I'm willing to live 10 years less." Su Jingming overheard bits of it. He thought, Madu Psionic University's beauty standards are indeed something else. Just then, the receptionist approached holding his card and handed it to him. "Here is your adventurer card and the satellite smart map watch for use in the wilderness. It marks danger levels and beast activity for each area." Su Jingming took them. "Thank you." From a distance, a man looked at him and smirked, then stepped forward and said, "Little brother, first time in the wilderness, right? You can't go without pills. Want to buy some?" Su Jingming looked at him. "What are the prices?" The man smiled. "Top-grade healing pill, 21,000 per pill. Top-grade antidote, 15,000 per pill. Second-grade variants work better but cost more, around 40,000 and 30,000. Su Jingming said, Not too expensive." The man immediately gave a thumbs up, smiling broadly. "You know your stuff. My pills are famously cheap and effective." Su Jingming faintly smiled, thinking, first-grade pills usually cost 30 to 40,000 each. If he's quoting such low prices, there's definitely something wrong. He's a con and he targets newcomers. The man asked, "How many do you need?" Su Jingming countered, "You've used this trick to cheat many people, haven't you?" The man stiffened, his expression turning hostile. He stepped closer, pointed at Su Jingming's chest. "So you saw through me and still tried to play me, didn't you?" Su Jingming replied calmly, "What do you mean?" The man sneered coldly. "Good, very good. Daring to trick me at the relief base, you'll be the first." Just then, a short-haired girl strode up and shouted, "True Shen Lam? Are you scamming people here again?" The con froze. Seeing the girl, he immediately withdrew his hand and stepped back, glowering at Su Jingming. "Humph. Consider yourself lucky, kid." He then left, but not before issuing a chilling warning. "Don't leave the relief base these days or you'll regret it." People around began to gossip. Tisk, True Shen Lam noticed him. "This newbie's unlucky. Picked the wrong guy to mess with. I heard he's reached middle rank too. How can first rank upper be a match?" The girl, Wang Hien, looked at Su Jingming and said seriously, "True Shen Lam holds grudges. Don't leave the relief base recently." Su Jingming, grateful, replied, "Thanks for the warning. He scams people like that. Nobody stops him." Wang Hien said, "True Shen Lam has black market backing. Who'd dare stop him? If you need supplies, buy through official channels and don't leave the relief base." Then she left. Su Jingming watched her go and smiled, thinking, on the contrary, she's a kind classmate. Anyway, first buy what I need for a month: healing pills, antidotes, bloodburst pills, and many other items for the wilderness. He then went to the official shop and began selecting necessary supplies. After finishing, he stuffed everything into his backpack. The pack was nearly full. He also left the registration area. Outside, Tru Shen Lam was already waiting. He cracked his knuckles and said, "You really don't know better. I told you not to leave the relief base, yet you still dare go out. Do you take Tru Shen Lam for nothing?" Su Jingming asked calmly. "What do you want?" Passers-by avoided them. Tru Shen Lam cracked his fingers, smiling viciously. "You embarrassed me earlier. I'll take your legs so you'll spend half your life in a wheelchair. That'll satisfy my grudge." Wang Hien saw this from afar and wanted to step forward. Angrily, "I told him not to leave the relief base." The girl with her pulled her back. "Don't rush. Let him learn a lesson this time so he listens next time." Meanwhile, Tru Shen Lam flexed his arm. A layer of gray metal instantly coated his arm. He said confidently, "Metallized psionic, grade C, plus a grade D combat skill. You can't even break my defense." He added, "Unless you hand over $1 million in compensation and kneel to apologize." Su Jingming didn't respond further, only asked coldly, "Done talking?" Violet thunder began to flare around his body. Before Tru Shen Lam could react, Su Jingming used thunder stealth. A lightning flash erupted, and Tru Shen Lam was thrown straight into the air. He still hadn't had time to respond when Su Jingming's cold gaze appeared behind him. Tru Shen Lam rolled several times on the ground, blood pouring out continuously, his face twisted in unbearable pain. He'd just boasted, and one move had utterly defeated him. Then his body slammed into an obstacle and came to a stop. Wang Hien and those around witnessed it, mouths agape in horror. Su Jingming didn't bother to look back at Tru Shen Lam once. He just walked straight ahead, leaving behind the stunned gazes of everyone. Dead in an instant. Was it really that terrifying? How did he strike? I didn't even get a clear look. Ha ha. This time Tru Shen Lam ran into someone he shouldn't have messed with. Wang Hien was also astonished, eyes wide. How did he do that? I couldn't see it clearly either. The girl next to her said, "He only swept at the leg once. Tru Shen Lam's pelvis is shattered. If he survives, he'll be confined to a wheelchair." The girl continued, "No wonder he's from Madu Psionic University. Very powerful and ruthless too." Wang Hien asked in doubt, "Madu? How do you know that, team leader?" The girl replied, "The combat suit he's wearing. Only MADA students have those. It's proprietary manufactured gear." Wang Hien said, "Indeed. Only that university would produce someone like him. Why not recruit him to our team? Aren't we short a main fighter?" The girl glanced over. "Qiao Ting, didn't you say when forming the team you'd only accept female members?" The other girls teased, "Ha ha, is Qiao Ting falling for him? But he's pretty handsome. I wouldn't oppose him joining." Wang Hien blushed and had no reply. Meanwhile, Su Jingming scanned his card through the gate and officially entered the wilderness. Adventurer information verified. Entry to the wilderness granted. He then stepped out of the safe zone and into the primordial wilds. A distant roar echoed, carrying a heavy pressure. Su Jingming looked toward it and thought to himself, that roar was declaring territory, at least a fourth-stage beast. But today's targets weren't those. The primordial wilds were divided into two areas: the abandoned city and the forested mountains. Beasts in the abandoned city were weaker, making it a good starting point to collect psionic points. He pointed at the screen, which showed numerous marked points. The nearby Pingan town looked decent. Mostly second-stage beasts, very few first-stage, and no third or fourth-stage. Plus, its large area meant there should be at least 500 beasts. Pingan town, here I come. With that thought, he sprinted toward the designated location. His steps quickened, and soon he approached Pingan town. Suddenly, a beast appeared blocking his path. Su Jingming halted immediately. The beast gave a mighty roar, baring its teeth and growling at him. Su Jingming reached back and drew his long spear, saying, "A second-stage black shadow cat? The psionic points have presented themselves." At this time he was affected by the emotions of the void-devouring divine thunder, a hunger for battle and slaughter swelling inside him. The more he suppressed it, the stronger it became. But this time he needn't endure it. Su Jingming's gaze grew icy, the corner of his mouth curling into a faint smile. The black shadow cat flinched, sensing danger and instinctively backing away. Su Jingming's killing intent made it tremble. Cut to 1 month later. A group of people entered Ping'an town. True to its name, the place was eerily quiet. There wasn't a single beast in sight. Someone in the team said, "Captain, what's going on with Ping'an town? We've been out all day and haven't seen a single beast." The captain frowned. "You ask me? Who am I supposed to ask?" Another doubted. "According to reports, this town should have at least 500 or 600 beasts. With numbers that large, they can't just vanish no matter how they move." At that moment, a viperclaw tiger appeared before them. The team immediately erupted with excitement. Viperclaw tiger. Finally! Everyone attacked. Just as they were about to charge, a bolt of violet thunder descended from the sky. Boom! With a single strike, the viperclaw tiger was obliterated on the spot. Violet thunder wrapped around it, the explosion hurling earth and rock everywhere. The team froze. What was that just now? A laser weapon. The captain shook his head. Not a laser. Lasers are much faster. That looked more like an electro-thunder skill. He glanced around and said gravely, "Let's go. Ping'an town has probably been taken by a powerful psionic." That display just now was a warning. One person said, "No wonder we couldn't find any beasts. Probably wiped out by that electro-type powerhouse." Sheesh. The power of that thunder spear was terrifying. My legs are still shaking. The captain barked, "Enough talk, move." Moving slowly is a big problem. Angering that powerhouse would be a huge hassle. With that, the team immediately withdrew and vanished from the area. Meanwhile, Su Jingming stood in place, his hand still crackling with lightning. He had just slain a lower second stage viperclaw tiger. Gained 19 psionic points. Su Jingming muttered, "Spear mastery at advanced proficiency. Attack range increased to over 1,000 m. Not bad. Over the past month, more than 8,000 psionic points had elevated him from upper first rank to upper second rank, and the thunderstorm immortal body broke through to the 3rd tier. The system display showed, name Su Jingming, rank, upper second rank. Psionic, void devouring divine thunder.
Physique, 131.
Spirit, 972. Skills, Grand Spear Method, Advanced. Fist Techniques, Intermediate. Thunder Spear, Advanced. Chain Thunder Spear, Intermediate. Thunder Stealth, Advanced. Thunder Prison, Intermediate. Stealth Electric Devastation, Advanced. Group, Thunderstorm Immortal Body Tier 3. Psionic Points, 8112. Su Jingming read it and murmured, "The proficiency of many A-rank combat skills has reached intermediate. Who else can do that besides me?" He stepped to the pile of spoils and began to collect them. "Consider this area cleared. Tomorrow I'll return to the supply base, then push deeper." Cut to the primordial supply base. Su Jingming entered carrying a large backpack. Those around sneered. "Haha, what's that? A tactical backpack with legs. Is he hauling whole beast carcasses back? What an idiot." Su Jingming paid them no mind and smiled faintly. He thought, "Good thing I bought the reinforced tactical pack. Otherwise I couldn't have carried over 400 kilograms of beast materials." At the purchase counter, the clerk asked, "What materials are you selling? You can place them on the scale." Su Jingming set the backpack down and opened it. It was packed full of spoils. He said, "Second stage beast materials, about over 400 kilograms. How much will you pay me?" The clerk immediately froze. That much?"
Tiger sinew, rhino horn, pure essences.
She hurriedly contacted the purchasing department and returned, "Please wait a moment. The quantity is too large. We need more staff to inventory it." A while later, a group of people arrived. The man leading them said, "Hello. I'm the manager in charge of procurement business. Zhao Ngi." Su Jingming also extended his hand and introduced himself. Su Jingming. Zhao Ngi shook his hand, smiling. "Young Su, truly talented. So young and already capable of hunting so many beasts.
I'm impressed.
I'll arrange for staff to inventory the materials. Would you mind sitting down with us for a bit?" At that moment, The staff were busily cataloging. Second stage high-rank clause, completeness 26, estimated price. After sitting, Zhao Ngi handed Su Jingming a card and said with a smile, "This is the platinum membership card of the supply base. Everything you buy gets a 5% discount. Please accept it." He thought to himself that they should forge ties with such a young upper second rank psionic. Su Jingming accepted and replied, "Thank you, Manager Zhao." After the inventory was completed, a clerk stepped forward and said, "Sir, the materials have been fully cataloged. Upper rank second stage beast materials, 89 items. Mid rank, 107 items. Lower rank, 221 items." Zhao Ngi was startled and thought, "Amazing. Did he clear out an entire den?" He turned back and smiled. "The total for these beast materials comes to 24.764 million. Shall we round it up to 25 million? Su Jingming replied, "You rounding up for me? Well then, thank you, Manager Zhao. Your Zhonghua Bank account ending 7043 has received 25 million. Balance, 29.1234 million. Su Jingming chuckled inwardly. "Ha! 29 million. This could be major wealth." After thinking, he said, "Manager Zhao will meet again next time." Zhao Ngi took out a business card and handed it to Su Jingming. "This is my card. When you're free, I'll invite you for tea." Watching Su Jingming's retreating back, Zhao Ngi thought to himself, "This young man has a bright future." Suddenly Zhao Ngi's phone rang. Ring, ring. After answering, Zhao Ngi said, "Tru Xian Lam, what do you want?" On the other end, Tru Xian Lam shouted, "Manager, I saw the guy who harmed me return to the supply base. You must avenge me." Zhao Ngi asked, "Oh, the upper first rank fellow you mentioned? How do you want to get revenge?" Tru Xian Lam shouted back, "Send the Tiger Sand team. Make his life worse than death." Zhao Ngi replied, "All right, I'll lend you the Tiger Sand team. But from now on we have nothing to do with each other." Tru Xian Lam said, "Fine. Once this is done, I'll leave Primordial City for good." After the call, Zhao Ngi hung up and thought, "Why do I feel a little uneasy? Must be my imagination." The Tiger Sand team is an elite second-rank squad. Dealing with an upper first rank shouldn't be a problem.
Su Denli Su Jingming Sneret Laoli.
He rubbed his nose and thought, "What's that about? Could someone be bad-mouthing me?" Meanwhile, Zhao Ngi was reporting to Chief Manager Wang. "Chief Wang, I just discovered a promising psionic named Su Jingming. The spoils he brought in alone exceed those of several squads combined." The man called Chief Manager Wang, real name Wang Sam, was the base's senior manager. Hearing this, he said, "Su Jingming, let me check his records." After checking, Wang Sam broke out in a sweat. Then he said loudly into the phone, "Manager Zhao, the Su Jingming you mentioned is very important to me. If he comes again, notify me immediately." Zhao Ngi was startled and replied, "Understood." He thought, if Su Jingming can provoke such a reaction from old Wang, his background must be significant. It's right to be cautious. On the other end, Wang Sam looked at Su Jingming's dossier on his computer and smiled. Unexpectedly, another disciple of Yang Zhentian had come to his base. Upper second rank, with talent even stronger than Lu Ming who visited before. Truly a demon. Absolutely not to be offended. Meanwhile, Su Jingming walked through the bustling crowd, thinking to himself, "Spatial rings herself are over 10 million. Capacity only the size of a suitcase. So expensive. But they are really convenient. Wonder what level a ring would need to be to hold a full-length spear." Suddenly his phone rang. Ring, ring. It was Lu Wentao. As soon as Su answered, Lu said, "Min, long time no contact. When are you coming back to school?" Su Jingming replied, "In half a month." "Why? What's up?" In a nearby alley, a group lay in ambush, preparing to ambush Su Jingming. At that moment they watched his every movement. Tru Xian Lam stood inside the alley and said coldly, "Your target is him. Break his legs, then bring him to me." The others answered, "Understood." Su Jingming was still talking to Lu Wentao. On the phone Lu said, "While you were away, a new freshman enrolled. Very arrogant." Just then Su Jingming noticed the people scattered around him. Lu Wentao heard the noise and asked, "What's going on?" Su Jingming replied, "Nothing. Keep talking." The ambushers lowered their voices. "Get ready. The target has entered the narrow alley." Haku began analyzing the target's strength. The girl named Haku beside him responded, while using her ability to probe Su Jingming. Another person spoke up, "Captain, haven't I told you you're sometimes too cautious? What big trouble can a little upper first-rank brat cause?" Haku observed for a moment, then exclaimed in shock, "How is this possible?" The blonde guy asked suspiciously, "What is it? What's wrong?" Haku said, "I'll resonate for everyone. Take a look yourselves," saying that he used his ability to resonate with Haku. The stronger the mental type psionic, the more intense the sensed light would be. After observing, he cried out in horror, "This? How can this be? This light is 10 times stronger than an upper second rank. A powerhouse like this could easily wipe out our entire squad." In his vision, Su Jingming's energy was terrifyingly immense. Even combined, their energies weren't equal to a fraction of his. After concluding, he broke into a sweat and said, "True Xian Lam, this bastard led us into a fire pit. Bad intel. Abandon the mission. Return and settle this with him." With that, the group immediately retreated, disappearing from the alley. On the other side, Su Jingming frowned and wondered, what happened? Why did they suddenly run away? He retracted his thunder spear, thinking to himself, "The only person who bears a grudge against me at this base is True Xian Lam. He probably can't let it go and is scheming to find a chance for revenge. What a petty man. Next time we meet, I'll make him remember me." Meanwhile, someone slapped True Xian Lam hard, blood spurting from his nose and mouth. The ones who struck him were none other than the Tiger Sand team. True Xian Lam clutched his face, panicked. "What's going on? Why hit me?" The blonde man sneered coldly. "You still ask? Your intel was flawed and almost got the whole team killed. That target wasn't upper first rank. It was upper second rank." True Xian Lam froze. "Upper second rank? How is that possible? It's only been a month." The blonde man snorted. "No matter. Mission over. We'll take this up with Manager True ourselves." With that, the group turned and left. Afterward, the Tiger Sand team went to see True NGI. True NGI smiled and asked, "Back so soon? Problem solved." The blonde man replied, "No, the mission is over." True NGI paused, full of doubt. The blonde man continued, "True Xian Lam's intel was wrong. The target is not upper first rank but upper second rank. Worse, according to Haku's observation, his actual combat strength is at least above rank 3. So we abandoned the attempt." True NGI jumped and asked, "Upper second rank with strength equal to rank 3? What's wrong with True Xian Lam? He can't touch someone like that." He suddenly thought of something and asked, "Wait, what's True Xian Lam's target's name?" The blonde man answered, "He didn't give a name, but the features are clear. About 1.9 m tall, muscular build, carrying a long spear." True NGI immediately turned pale. "We're doomed. Could it be him?" When Wang Sam learned of the matter, he angrily slammed his hand on the table and shouted, "You sent people to ambush Su Jingming? How dare you do that?" True NGI still had not realized the severity and hurriedly said, "Chief Manager Wang, he's just an upper second rank brat. No need to be so angry." Wang Sam immediately displayed Su Jingming's information on the screen in front of True NGI. "Are you blind? Look for yourself." True NGI read each line. Top scholar of Jiangnan Province, a new student at Madu Psycho Academy, 18 years old already at upper second rank. He had never heard of such a prodigy and had assumed he was lower second rank. One line below sent chills down his spine. Dean Yongjin Tian of the Arms Academy is his mentor. After understanding everything, True NGI panicked. Trouble. This is really trouble. Wang Sam gritted his teeth. Do you get it now? A figure of sectmaster level. Even if he raised the entire supply base, no one would dare object. True NGI immediately bowed 90 degrees. I understand. I will absolutely not let the base fall into trouble. Then he ordered them to bring the man in. 2 bodyguards in black led True Xian Lam inside. He was now beaten until his face was bruised, several teeth broken. He panicked and stammered, "I was wrong. Please spare me." True NGI stepped forward and grabbed his hair. "Seems a beating wasn't enough. If you mess with someone you shouldn't, you must face the consequences." Immediately, a series of sharp smacks rang out. Blood kept spurting from True Xian Lam's mouth. After a while, True NGI turned to ask Wang Sam, "Manager, what do you think?" Wang Sam's face was cold, his voice low. "You think that's enough?" True NGI broke into a sweat. "Manager, about this matter Wang Sam glanced at him. "Over the years I've overlooked the shady deals you've made in the base, but this time you've truly brought a grave disaster." He waved his hand and continued, "Everyone involved in this must be severely punished. Not just you. The Tiger Sand squad also cannot keep someone who has incurred such an offense." True NGI was immediately dragged out by 2 bodyguards. He cried out in alarm, "Manager Wang!" At this time, Wang Sam and several others stood in the main hall as if waiting for someone. People who saw this whispered among themselves, "Isn't that Chief Manager Wang Sam of the base up front?" Except for Manager True of Procurement, the heads of the other departments have all come. TSK. Looks like a very important person might be coming. The squad captain spoke up, "Qiu Tian. Isn't that the guy from Madu's Psycho University?" Qiu Tian followed the direction and asked, "Huh? Where?" Meanwhile, Su Jingming was also walking over. Seeing the scene before him, he didn't understand what was happening. Seeing him approach, Wang Sam immediately stepped forward and said cheerfully, "Student Hua, you're finally back. I am Chief Manager Wang Sam of the base." Qiu Tian and the squad captain remarked, "TSK. The person the managers are welcoming is him. Seems this young man's status is not simple. Just a Madu University student." Yet, at that moment Wang Sam bowed before Su Jingming and earnestly said, "Regarding True Xian Lam's offense against you, our base has executed him on the spot. The accomplices involved have been punished. In this life they will all live in prison. To show our sincerity, our base has prepared a gift of apology for you." Su Jingming thought to himself, no wonder someone could sit as chief manager. He even dealt decisively with his subordinates. Wang Sam waved, and a receptionist carrying a tray stepped forward. He pointed to the tray and continued, "This is a black gold membership card, the highest tier in our base. From now on, whenever you stay at the base, all costs will be completely waived. When you purchase any product, you'll receive at least a 20% discount. Also, this is a spatial ring with a capacity of 1 cubic meter, also part of our apology gift." Su Jingming was startled and thought, 1 cubic meter?